But I'm interested. You sound very two-term, but not two-term in an emotional way. You sound like you stumbled into some facts.
No, I've come to understand that this thing is not black and white as people are making it seem. So I'm not two-term, I'm not one-term. So far, if there was anyone in that movement that I'd want to vote for is Sifuna. I don't think Sifuna is going to run. No.
Why do you think so? Why do you think he's
I don't think he has, those guys can let him. He'd be too disruptive. You see, walikuwa nasema 2024, according to them, Ruto was nearly resigning. So maybe, tukimalizia, do you think Ruto would have resigned? The keyword is resign.
His character, no.
Of course not.
The previous guy, maybe.
Yeah, you tell them that, mtu anachukua, kwa nini unasema? Because he can't resign. That's not within his character.
That's not his character.
He's not that guy. That does not mean that we are supporting him. We just saying he can't resign. Remember when I always use the example of when the story came out that there is domestic violence at State House. I was the only person who spoke about it, and I spoke about the photos that had gone where you could see like the first lady looked like she had a black eye. I talked about the story that said in political circles where the first lady had to be flown out for surgery and life-saving surgery in South Africa.
Life-saving?
Yes.
When was this?
Like during Uhuru's time. So allegedly, there's a story that allegedly there's a time the deputy president was so pissed at her that he beat her at Weston Hotel. Understand? So
this was during Kenyatta's time.
Yeah, during Kenyatta's time. So, and Kenyatta had to, because now Kenyatta needed Ruto, he had to organize or had to be flown privately. I'm the only guy who spoke about that.
Hey, you, the viewer. I just want to take this time and I want to thank you. You've really helped me grow. You've really helped this podcast grow. But one thing I noticed is 77.8% of you don't subscribe. And if you love the content we're putting out, guys, we'd really appreciate if you could hit that subscribe button. It goes a long way and it'll take this channel to the next level. Subscribe. What's happening, guys? We have a new sponsor, man. Cameras Africa. They've come in clutch. As the podcast was growing, we needed a partner to take us to the next level, and they came in, and to be honest, they've supported the podcast to a whole different stratosphere. Whatever you see in front of me is brand new. The mics, the FX30s, the roadcasters, the lighting at the back, they sat down with us and wanted to understand what we wanted to achieve, and we told them, and they worked with our budget. So they've come on board as a sponsor. They're really helping the show out. I want you guys to show them some love. If you have any equipment needs, whether it's videography, podcasting, camera, do check them out. I'll link all their details in the description. Show them some love. They've showed us.
Take it away.
By the way, we've started.
Okay.
No, we Coffee Bomb doesn't have an introduction like Yotwe and Nikumini. But anyway, welcome, guys.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Welcome, Sajid.
Just want to double check.
Welcome. Nafeel gani kwa like, yeah, but thank you, Sajid.
Mwaf has straight up taken over.
Yeah.
But tumekumiss bana, it's been a while,
Been
bro.
a minute, man.
Yeah, I've been watching the Three Musketeers.
Yeah, we with what's his name? With
Farid.
Farid, yeah.
The one with Kibe always gets us in trouble, one thing or the other. The other day, by the way, I posted up a reel with Kibe saying that, and we'll put this up over here.
Yes.
If God is real, then he cannot be this whiny who needs us.
To worship him.
He cannot be. He cannot be someone who enjoys us leaving whatever it is you're doing to go to church or to go to the mosque or to go to wherever, to the temple, and to sit there for hours to worship him. Because I would not want that from my kids. Think about it this way. If even your employees every day woke up and started kissing your ass, at some point you'll be like, this is how can you wake up every day kissing my ass? And just because I'm the one who created you. No, this doesn't make any sense. These days you can research. It's not like Kitambo, if you tried even stepping out kidogo, they would crucify you the way they did Jesus. Jesus rarely talked about God. If you look at, it's called what? Sermon on the Mount. He's not talking about God. He's talking about real life. Like, hey, don't do this to your brother. Do this. Don't do this. You know, just kawaida stuff.
But groupthink, Maze, is strong.
Where God can't be this whiny, he uses the word bitch and expects to pray to us full time and
Yes.
worship him.
Yeah.
My DMs are filled with Muslim guys saying, "You cannot platform this. You're an unbeliever. You're this. You're that.
Oh, okay.
You can't claim to be a Muslim and then give this guy a voice." And I was like, the society we live in is so colorful. I can't nitpick who I want to talk to.
Yes.
And from a porn star to the Pope, we're willing to have
Same
a conversation
guys,
with
those
both.
two, that's a bad example.
You know what I mean?
Same guys.
I mean, and Kwanzaa Mwaf has been catching stray bullets. Bana Mwaf, guys have been trying to cancel you.
Yeah, I've been cancelled like a million times. And one of the funniest things about it is I was watching a Joe Rogan clip. There's a Joe Rogan clip where they're talking about, is it like how the guys who dove down to check the Titanic, something like that.
Yeah.
And Joe Rogan is there like, no. They were talking about the American war machinery. So what is that they have?
The submarines. Oh?
Submarines, yes.
Yeah.
So this guy is like, America has 53 submarines and they're all over and they can stay there for how long? Then Joe Rogan is there asking, like, there must be a lot of jacking off happening downstairs. And the first thing that happens when guys are dissing me is, he jacks off. I'm there like, we all fucking jack off. It's just that...
You're open about it. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not. But for you to think that's an insult, you see. So, yeah. But I've been cancelled like so many times. That
If you don't mind me asking, I saw recently there was some Jama who posted something.
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Okay, it's... I didn't want to... My wife watches this, she's going to complain. I told you not to talk about it. But it's a guest. It's a guy I had as a guest like 2 years ago.
2 years?
Yeah, so he's a Gen Z guy. So when we were having the conversation, which I thought we were having the conversation, I told him, if you're going against a government, and a government is organized, yes? You're going through against a political party, the political parties are organized. You have to be organized. And any organization needs a leader. Without a leader, it's not an organization. It's not organized because it means there's ego, there's all that nonsense that makes things not grow. So I was like, you guys need a leader. And I even told him, you can be the leader. I didn't say that he needs to choose anyone beyond him. But then he was like, if we get a leader, the leader can be corrupted. Then I asked him, if the leader can be corrupted, what's the difference between you and the guys you're trying to take out? Because the same guys... you claim they've been corrupted. So if you can be corrupted, then there's no difference between the two of you. So I thought we were having a conversation, but for him, he felt I was...
You took it personally?
Yes, I was talking down on him. So he said I gave him a lecture. But what I noticed was, and it's something that's happening, and I think with Gen Alphas, because I have a Gen Alpha, it's going to be worse. But Gen Zs and Gen Alphas have been raised differently from us.
We're Gen Alpha.
In what sense?
No.
We're millennials.
Gen Alphas is our kids.
Gen Alpha is after Gen Z.
After Gen Z.
Wait. Okay.
Yes.
Gen Alphas.
So you're millennials, yes?
We're millennials.
Then
Yes.
Gen Z.
Gen Z?
97 to 2000 and I think 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are Gen Alphas.
That's Gen Z.
Yeah.
Then after that, 2002 onwards, I think is Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha, yes.
Okay. So
So
this
Gen Alphas are them. They are getting raised by very different parents. We don't believe in violence. We don't believe in shouting at your kid. We don't believe in all these things. Yes. But millennials going backwards, it was like you're getting slapped. You're getting.
pretty sharp.
So there was a certain,
Hey, man, I got my ass whooped, man.
Yeah.
My fair share.
yeah. So with that, we have a very thickened skin, and so if you give us advice, we don't take it personal. But with Gen Zs and Gen Alphas, there's that participation trophy.
like, why are you telling me?
Yes, and there's also a participation trophy syndrome where we had a protest. The protest, in the grand scheme of things, changed nothing. You know that? The bill still went through, and they don't want to hear that. When millennials, Gen X's, and what were protesting, they were able to bring in not only a new constitution, but what else did they change?
Multipartism. Tangible things.
Yes, tangible things. The only thing is their voice was not amplified, but a lot of them were killed. Yeah, this is so.
And the other day I was hearing, which is shout out to Obinna, he started doing some very mainstream guests in terms of politicians that are quite apt for the time. He hosted Orengo.
James Orengo, eh?
And James started talking about things of course, we all know he's a guy of the struggle.
Yes.
But we didn't know the extent of the things he went through specifically, because we always thought he was a shadow of what Baba was going through. And him, in his capacity as a lawyer,
Yes.
he was there to come and like bail these guys out using legal frameworks. But this guy was being detained like all of them. He has been through jail multiple times. Sometimes I think something Mwaf emphasized on his show is about how we forget about our predecessors. Just how much guys also fought
For
this
us to
country.
be able.
So Mwaf, clearly this guy was upset.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
didn't
he was
take it well. He
upset.
went on social media and
I think he was upset because this is what happened. Like,
But why
I
does it
think
come up 2 years later? That's my...
that's what pissed me off. Like, I had people talking about this interview happened like you're disrespecting your guests. I'm like, this interview happened 2 years
There
ago.
was no spark? There was nothing that sparked it?
Oh, what sparked it was the Matri strike. So the Matatu fuel strike, yes? So the Matatu fuel strike happens and these guys go and meet the president and then they come out smiling.
You saw that?
Yeah. Can we put that up over here? Kuna jamaa na mapengo. Sindio, the guy was... This guy is...
I'm a smiling man. I'm usually a smiling man.
Yes.
But I like how Jeff has started. I think he's... Sorry, I keep taking
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
But Jeff has transitioned into his Sean Hannity era. You know the way...
Jeff Koinange.
Yeah, you know, in the West, bro, journalists stay there till they're gray-haired. And
Yes.
they're beloved by the country because of, if you've seen you have the social, moral authority to say these things.
Jeff started a podcast, right?
Right now, but
Yeah,
right now,
yes,
even on
yes.
JKL, he's not doing the lowball shit. He's shooting off the hip, yani. Like when the guest is there, he'll ask him the most, well, ulilipwa. You're telling that guy, ulilipwa.
Yeah.
Straight up. I like his new style, by the way.
Yeah,
The podcast.
Even kuambia nani uko hizo ni bangi, kuambia wajakoya.
That's
So-
a bangy.
Yeah. So that's what happened. Like these guys meet the president, they get a deal. Then this guy tags me. Remember when Mwafreeka said we needed a leader? Look at how leaders sell out. This guy was lecturing me. I'm like, what the fuck do I have to do with the Matatu strike, the fuel strike? You see, because the fuel strike, and this is what now also the Gen Zs don't want to hear. It was politicized. There's nothing we could have done for fuel to go down. This is Iran.
It's a
and
global
US.
phenomenon. Yeah.
Yes, so the Iran and the US need to get into some level of understanding. If right now the Strait of Hormuz stays closed, if like that was to continue, fuel can go up to 400, and there's nothing that's going to happen. You
I
can
think-
jump,
yeah.
uende kwa moon, urudi chini. But if this Ruto guy decides now we are not paying fuel levy and we're not doing all that shit, a lot of stuff will grind to a halt. You know that? That's the reality of paying taxes and what. Because we don't have... One of the things that I admire about Kenya is we do not have natural resources, but somehow we are one of the biggest economies in East Africa. You can try and think about how crazy that is. That this is from farming, this is from IT, this is from what. So we are able to do a lot of stuff. But this also means we need the taxes. If we had oil, of course, we don't need the taxes. But every time you try to have a conversation with them where you disagree with their point, they'll tell you you're imposing your point on me. You are not tolerant. You see, and you're there like, no, I'm just disagreeing with you, and we should be able to agree to disagree.
That means he kept that one inside for a while, like
2 years, man.
waiting for a comeback. But 2 years
Yeah,
down the line
2
from a
years, that's
struggle,
weird.
also, if you still believe in the struggle 2 years later, surely leaderless cannot still be the narrative.
No, but here's the thing.
That's like for when it's fresh, when the streets. By now, the public has already seen clearly we should have had a leader.
But here's the,
Even on their side, on that other aisle of that argument, how many guys are there on that side? Because 2 years later,
They've cancelled each other.
But
man,
Eric,
right?
check this out. What I think we were raised in a time where if there's conflict and you don't appreciate the way something is put out, you address it there.
Yeah.
2 fucking years, man. You wait and then you belittle someone on Twitter through the veil of social media.
So
For me,
maybe-
that's kind
maybe-
of-
let me defend him and say
Pussy.
maybe he didn't belittle me. What happened? I don't know what had happened, but I was pissed that day. So I was dealing with my own shit. Then I go online and I see these guys blaming me about something that happened 2 years ago. But that same 2 years ago, I remember like the day that he came, he had what Zimbabweans call a koapa. Like the whole place was stinking. But I had to take it. It's like people say it's an occupational hazard. So yes, you have to take it. Once in a while, you have a guest that has very poor hygiene and what, and you have to take it, you know. So I remember that day I was like, damn, I have to take this shit. And what the excuse that I gave him was he's young, he's still learning, he still does not understand that hygiene plays a very big role in how people perceive you and how people, because the minute that he entered that room and I felt the way the air changed, I knew he was not
But where did that lesson skip society? That's not a how old were you when you need to have shower, bros?
Anyway,
Okay, no,
maybe it came
maybe
from
I
a
think-
long day at work or
Oh, he
whatever.
said
You
he
know,
installs
but it's
CCTVs. So let's advertise his CCTV business. He installs CCTV.
but check. I mean, now since we're on the topic of politics, well, Gen Z and the movement, and specifically one Jama posted the other day on one of the lives that we did, where Eric and I were talking about the next elections, and I was of the opinion that it doesn't matter who you vote for. And personally, for me, where I sit,
Yeah.
whoever comes in, okay, fine.
Yes.
Let us figure out how to make money with this person's set of rules. And we were arguing. We're not really arguing, having a discussion.
Yes.
And one person put in the comment, and he deleted it later because I told him, Kumamako, like, what do you mean?
Oh, shit.
So he posted something along the line, Sajid has generational wealth. I'm pissed off how he thinks the way he thinks about elections and the way he thinks nothing will make a difference. But someone else was agreeing with me, saying, I agree with Sajid. Is the world will be what the world is. You just need to figure out which path to walk on. Right? We can't change the path. We're dealt with this, and this is what we're going to walk on. So anyway, I spoke to someone else who's very politically close to heavyweights.
Yes.
And he said, never, ever tell someone they can't vote and it won't make a difference, especially not in an economy like Kenya, where people's heart are so attached to whatever's going on that when they see you say it doesn't make a difference and you have a platform, they'll hang you out to dry. Instead, what you should say is give them hope.
Yes.
Give them empathy, all right? Give them the possibility that, yes, your vote will make a difference. And that was the furthest. You see, the thing is, because I'm not media trained. And so the way maybe podcasters talk is we talk what we feel.
Yes.
And I wanted both your opinions on which position should we take, because clearly people in the comments are actually now genuinely feeling very offended by things that we say that they don't agree with. And we have smaller platforms, and Mwaf is more amplified on that scale. Coming up to the next elections, what positions do we take? Do we tell people vote how you see? And what your positions are as well? You feel voting makes a difference?
Yeah, voting makes a difference. Like, and I always say sometimes you have to look at just in your household, how much difference has it made? And I think even the two of you, you've looked at how your checks, housing fund, SHA, all that has happened. That's because Ruto is the president and he's come up with these things. So yes, voting is very important. And I always say, even when you end up with the two guys you don't agree with, like if we end up with Ruto versus Gachagua, I'm still voting. Understand? Do I think there's going to be any difference? No. But I'm still voting. Why? Because as much as there won't be a lot of difference, they're still very different people. Yeah. So I'll always encourage people to vote. But do I understand what you meant with at the end of the day, you have to figure it out? Yes, you have to figure it out because there's nothing you can do about it.
Like
I think it takes a certain level of almost privilege to enjoy it, so that you can feel removed from the idea of whether there's a difference or not, or perhaps even youth where you don't yet pay bills, where you can't really feel what one's policies would be different from the other. And I think maybe even he's gone through and I've gone through, because we're not looking at things so much on the micro, we're looking at things on the macro. So this girl's there, yeah, this girl's there,
Yeah.
kind of same thing. But I think on a very micro level, grand scheme, where maybe if a difference of, let's say, 500 to 1,000 matters to somebody, and then see, that's a big difference.
that's
right?
no longer there, yeah.
But then also on another way of looking at it, apart from just the change of regime and what it means on that level I've described, what about giving the people a chance to ventilate? Because I feel like that 5-year cycle, and that's why I used to say Gen Z, that whole movement gave the country a chance to like burst an out of frustration. And that's why the subsequent energy was never able to pick up again in the same way. The people need to ventilate. And by ventilate, they mean they need to feel like they're going to make a choice and the outcome, they had a chance at the outcome.
But you see, that's what I'm saying is the feeling of making a choice. It's the illusion of choice.
So that part matters as well.
But Eric, and that's what I'm trying to get to, is yes, everyone needs to feel like they're making a difference. Their vote counts, and even if it doesn't go in their way. But progressively, since 1963, since we got independence, the Kenya shilling has weakened.
Yes.
All right? It's been harder to earn a buck. The cost of living has gone up. All right? Inflation is through the roof. Housing, fuel, food, every single variable that we've had has become progressively worse. Am I correct or am I wrong?
Yeah, correct. Well, apart from the transition from Moi to Kibaki, business was spurred, the economy kind of
It depends on where you're standing. It depends on which culture, which background, which language you spoke to benefit one or the other. So what I'm trying to say is these differences and nuances will be there for everyone, irregardless of who comes, whether it's one term, whether it's two term. Your job is to put food on the table. All right? We're going from playing chess to checkers or whatever the game is at the time.
Yes.
Your decision as a player is not to complain about the rules of the game set upon you because we don't make the rules. We're not at that position yet to make the rules of this game they put in front of us. For us, it's just to figure out how to win. And I love the fact that it's someone told me that you shouldn't take that position, and I'm having to switch because I've seen people complain. They don't appreciate the position I'm taking, and I want to give them hope and say, yes, if you feel that can make a difference for you, if you feel that voting for someone else who doesn't agree with your opinions will make a better life for you, I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I hope I'm 100% wrong that the person you vote in, if it's Ruto or if it's someone else, makes a difference and proves us all wrong. But
yeah, well, I think
I hope you guys get what I'm trying to say, yeah?
Yeah. But political leaders make a difference. I think even like what he was pointing out about Kibaki, because I remember when Kibaki came in, like one of the things that happened all of a sudden is you'd move around and you'd see young people with cars. It was something that was not very common during Moi's time. During Moi's time, for you to have a car, it was like you had to be someone.
You had to be
Understand? So he changed the whole business thing, and that became a thing. And then, of course, we started building roads so people could move easily. And with that, another thing that happened is when you look at our internet infrastructure, you see, we were able to do a lot of stuff that these other countries are still catching up with. Like even in TZ.
And that's policy driven.
Yes, in TZ, when you get into an argument with them about anything, you'll hear them talking about, unatumia bundles kuninini, because even the concept of Wi-Fi, vile tumezoea, like fiber in homes, it's not, yes, in TZ there is fiber and there is what, but not to the level of Kenya.
Of Kenya.
And that's all because of Kibaki and that.
Mutai Kagwe,
yes.
to shout out Mutai Kagwe.
Yeah, so we have, no, it was Bitange Ndemo that time.
Was it Mutai?
IT is Bitange. Yes, Bitange Ndemo. So you have that. So leaders change a lot of stuff. You see, the same way, like even right now, you have this whole affordable housing. The first person to do affordable housing was Moi. You know that? Moi did these high-rise flats. These ones that were called high-rise. Because before that, of course, the much, much older ones were the British had come up with the idea. Kariako is Kariako.
The different estates, yes.
So that was there. But then Moi tried affordable housing, but on a very small scale. Kibaki didn't actually try it so much. I think it was slum upgrading, yes? And because even Moi was slum upgrading. Yes, I think the term was slum upgrading. Then you had who else? Then Kenyatta came and did a few, but did not touch people's paychecks. Then Ruto came in, same idea as Kenyatta, but touched people's paychecks. So you can see that leaders handle things very differently.
But is there, you see, I think also intent matters behind programs. You see, for example, when you talk about this specific housing thing we've all been paying into our paycheck, vis-a-vis what's been done, the translation. Do you think the housing program has worked?
I think one thing that has happened is that thing has such bad PR. that people are not interested. Because if I was to tell you, like, we had the deputy government spokesperson, and even actually made us go to that site. It's bomayangu.go.ke. And you find that there are houses for 3M, like a 3-bedroom house for 3 million. You see, that's a house you'd consider. But since there's so much negative PR around the whole thing, you've not even thought about it.
But you can buy a house up to like 15 million shillings with the bank. With the bank, using
9%.
that particular model by the government. You pay 10% interest. I think you pay a 20 or 30% down payment, and then you finance the rest through this. So I know a lot of people, middle class people, who've actually bought properties with that facility. So you see, it depends again on where you're standing.
I've not understood you there. Have they bought which facility?
So I'll give you the specifics. There's, again, shout out James from DTB. He's the banker. He told me about this. So within... Actually, Eric, while I search it up, maybe you could just...
check that out. I know what the program you're talking about. It wasn't really well publicized. It was kind of like kind of program. But I'm interested. You sound very two-term, but not two-term in an emotional way. You sound like you stumbled into some facts.
No, I've come to understand that this thing is not black and white as people are making it seem. So I'm not two-term, I'm not one-term. So far, I'm just... If there was anyone in that movement that I'd want to vote for is Sifuna. I don't think Sifuna is going to run now.
Why do you think so? Why do you think he's
I don't think he has... Those guys can let him. He'd be too disruptive. You see, one of the things that people don't... a lot of people don't understand about Kenyan politics is there's the status quo. And the status quo is we do not want someone to disrupt it so much. And I think that's the reason why someone like Raila could never be president.
And by disrupt in this context, you think Sifuna would...
Yes, he'd disrupt it.
Would positively revolutionize the country?
Yeah.
For the better of the country?
For the better. So maybe he would not bring as much development. Maybe he'd just continue developing what's there. But there'd be a certain level of human rights...
Decorum.
Human rights respect and, respect for human rights. Because when you look at Gachagua, you have to go back to 2023 when he used to go early to the office and he'd be there. Remember? And people would be shot and he'd be there asking, what do you want the police to do to protesters? You want them to kiss them? Remember that? So people conveniently forget that when they're like, this guy is the change. He's not. So when you tell people Gachagua is no different from Ruto, then they call you two-term.
No, but I think information is coming at us at 555 miles per hour. That's why people can forget and look at Gachagua as an alternative to Ruto.
So what this is, sorry guys to interrupt, it's actually, so James said, and James works at the DTB branch in Karen Hadi, solid guy, sorts me out all the time. But essentially he's saying this was introduced in 2018 actually, before the housing levy came into place. It's referenced as the Kenya Mortgage Refinance Company. KMRC is a non-deposit-taking financial institution under the supervision of the Central Bank of Kenya.
Okay.
The company was incorporated on 19 April 2018 with the single purpose of providing long-term funds to primary mortgage lenders, banks and SACCOs to increase the availability and affordable of mortgage loans to Kenyans. So he's given an example where if you take a maximum loan of 10.5 million and then you do a max 25 years, the interest rate for the first 10 years is 9%.
Okay.
And then 9.75% above 10 years. So maximum for a 15 million property you can buy using this. So maybe it was different according to that. But a lot of people don't know that. You can go to a bank and ask for this. And they give you sub 10% for a mortgage. Compared to what you're getting 12, 13 plus % right now.
But do they start doing that inflation nonsense that they normally do?
I think you have to agree with them on a specific rate, but I'm not able to. Let me not comment on that because there must be some nuances. But interesting. I didn't know about that, so it's not part of housing levy actually.
Yeah.
But what about there's a report that came out? They were saying, and of course, when we are running for office, we all exaggerate. So there's a time I think they had projected 200,000 houses per year. That was their target, something like that.
Yeah.
I think they built 1,700 in the first year. So they were versus what they raised. There's a whole weird.
So 1,700 it's apartments.
Yes, the 1,700.
I think it has to be more than that.
Total built.
When you go on that website, there's so many houses. I think it has to be more than 1,700.
Government back.
They're saying
Because those
1,700
things
per year.
they're high rise.
Per year.
Like there are places that when I look at them, personally, I don't want to stay there. Understand? Like it's high rise evil. But I also understand that for a lot of people they'd want to stay in those houses.
And
so
are there sensitization programs? Because there's a whole also angle of housing project being looked at as people move from the slums. We no longer want this kind of living setup. Let the government propose a cheaper way of getting a house. But I'd imagine transitioning from a slum to a high rise, some sensitization of sorts.
yeah. Because even I think someone else was talking about how the worst thing about high rise apartments is service charge. The average Kenyan knows as soon as I've paid for the house.
Kalasquez.
Yeah. So now who's going to do that? Who's going to maintain the lifts? Who's going to do... So when you think about all that, it's a disaster waiting to happen.
It actually can become
So,
quite nasty.
To me, if they wanted to do this thing the right way, they would have also come up with, yes, it's affordable housing, but also come up with something for the so-called middle class. You know, the middle class, the ones that really want that.
Yeah.
So instead of now, even the government can come up with, instead of now the 9%, do something where the middle class get at 4%. The same way like in America, people can own houses because, you know, mortgages, and 4% in the States is taken, it's looked at as high.
As high, yeah.
Yes. So they play with Apple at 2.8, whatever. So if we could have that, you see, we can go for it and we'll understand that service charge is something. But now if you're taking someone straight from a slum and they've never, and most probably maybe they're barely surviving, how do you expect them to have extra for lifts and what? They'll be like, nah, stuck here. And before you know it, the whole building deteriorates.
You end up with the projects like the States.
Yeah. Because that's what's going to happen. It's just going to end up as the
And
projects.
don't those ghettos and those projects that you have, doesn't community living become very important? And what I mean by that is, the grander scheme of things will always change. Right? We talked about this on our last podcast. Structural issues will already be there. But what you find is, as disconnected as the government becomes from what the society expects, people form their small communities because they know things can't change. So you fix your own water issues, you fix your own electricity issues, you fix your own security issues. You get 100 people together living in a combined estate, at least one idea from someone coming together naturally fixes all the solutions. So those kind of problems will happen. And you're seeing this in India, you're seeing this in China, wherever there's populous places and governments aren't able to sort of take care of majority of the needs, people privatize the sanity of their...
But I like your vantage point again, and we come from a similar vantage point. That's the picket fence version of coming together, right? Hey, these roads. No, we don't like security. We don't like this farm.
No, we're talking slum areas.
Yeah, after what happened to our friend here, he realized the security was a problem,
Yeah.
So he'll come up with private solutions. But in an environment where, and I'm talking about the typical, these guys are slum upgrading by moving these guys from here to here. If you look at what happened in the projects, that privatization of things becomes gangs. Yeah, to the point where
good point.
even cops are like, that area is self-governed, man.
Like, why would you go there?
Why would you go there unless it's like a murder and now
So
they have to go?
it has its own political structure rooted deep inside, but it's run by organized
crime.
Yeah, shit, that's another possibility by the way. Mwaf, sorry about your situation. Studio now secure, safe and sound.
Yeah. I had. It's expensive to come up with security because I spent around 350k and I've not fully finished what I wanted to do. I still need to put like an extra 50k in it, but I feel in quotes safer because when such a thing happens is when you realize the way things that you don't look at. Like for a very long time, I think I gave the story where for a very long time, because I stayed in that place for long, kabisa, but I used to use cabs. So if you come with a cab, so you're dropped at the gate and then you just push the gate and you enter. So you never realize that there's no one to open the gate.
There was no
for
security
you.
guard, yeah.
Then eventually when like I got the car, I'd still stop and open the gate for myself. All this time I don't realize there's no one here.
That's prime.
But this guy used to show up at 8,
I remember what you were saying, yeah.
put a padlock somewhere and then just disappear. Then we are left alone. So these thieves just pushed the gate and just went in. And it's something that they tried for some time. So they stole the things, and then now I had to come up with, like, right now I have CCTV. Even when I'm here, I can check like what the hell is happening from the outside to the world. So I had to do everything for myself. So
And
it
also
was
open your
really
own
messed
gate,
up.
Maze, you become prime for carjacking as
Yes.
well.
Yes. So
Because
now,
if someone picks up the pattern.
so right now we have like a Wochi who actually does his job. So he's always there. He opens the gate for you. He does all this. And that's another thing that I realized also. Humility is also a bad thing. Where if you open the gate for yourself today, and
You've shown you can.
yes. So now if you are an asshole, you'll be like, hey, what's happening? Why is there no one opening the gate for me? And then you'll realize, oh, this guy is never here. So I'd have realized that he's never there. Because I used to go to the gym like at 1 a.m., still open the gate for myself, close the gate for myself, do all that. When
Yeah,
I'm
that's
with my
not
wife,
good.
she's the one doing that. You understand? So, but you realize that one of the funniest things I've ever had, I don't know if it's funny or it's sad, but did you know this guy called Papa Shirandula?
Of course.
Yeah, it sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
Papa Girandula.
He used to act as a
The cop,
chubby cop.
the small
he was
guy,
a Wochi.
the Wachi.
Wait, is that the small
Small-
guy or the
small
big
guy.
guy?
See, you are talking about Inspector Mwala.
Oh, sorry, Inspector Mwala.
Shirandula.
Papa Shirandula.
Goja.
Hey,
Papa.
let's put him up on the screen.
The guy with the Coca-Cola ad. With the
Yes.
crazy laugh.
Yes.
Papa Shabby guy. Yeah.
So Papa, apparently, this is a story that I had, that he never got along. In real life, he never got along with Watchmen. That's the funniest thing that I had. Like, Watchmen hated his guts. Because he'd be there and he does not want that. And I think his real name was Charles. So if you called him Papa, especially if you're a Watchman, he was allegedly, he was an a-hole in real life. And when you hear that, of course, at first you're disgusted, you're what. But when shit like this happens to you, you're there like, hey, because I'll treat you with all the respect you deserve. I'll never, whatever, but do your job. Cheeky. And if you do your job well, see, like there's a place I used to live in Gara. It was called Village Plaza. It's owned by Pioneer Holdings. And those watches were so professional. Like I was friends with all of them. Because they were so professional. You'll always find them there at the gate. Talk. Of course, they do that. Mkubwa, tunasikia njaa, you know, all that nonsense.
Yeah.
But I loved the fact that they were good at their job. So when we were in that place, we were super secure. So I think when you're used to such a place, you start assuming that all watches are the same.
Did you guys see Butitas? 07? Where's he park up? 07?
Oh yeah,
Where's he
07.
park? 07? How accurate was that?
Yeah. it's so true.
Yes.
But-
So that whole insecurity shit happened, and I won't lie to you, like it made me paranoid. Sometimes when I'm even from recording, like I have to, when I'm opening the door, I take some time to just check. Like,
In case there's someone inside.
Yeah, because now you become paranoid.
God
Because
damn, yeah.
if you have to ask me who organized the whole shit, I don't know. But what I know is there's someone in the neighborhood. Because now, do you know what they discovered about the thugs? They were, like the ones who showed up, they were, entered the studio, there were 3, yes? So there was one guy at the door. And from the CCTV footage, you can see him. He's Tanzanian.
Tanzania.
Yeah.
Cross-border
So
criminality.
cross-border, yes. And then there are 2 people. The 2 people, there's one with a backpack, Tanzanian. And then there's the other guy with the torch, Kenyan. But they're so good at their thuggery that, it's just a very complex story. I can't get into more details, but that's what we know. Like, these guys came from TZ to come and steal in Kenya. And apparently it's something that happens, especially in Paki. You guys should be knowing that story.
So they have
Most robberies happening in Paki right now, according to
politically.
Kenyan cops, are being done by TZ guys.
So they have a network of
Yes.
guys
So
here.
there's Kenyan guys who do nini, but then you steal stuff that you know it's going to be very hard to sell in Kenya. Past Namanga.
So if you see
So
an
it's-
upcoming podcast, TZ.
No, but by
Yeah.
the way, that's how in the West they steal cars and send them over here. You've heard cases about a Jama's Ferrari went missing, and then some guy found his insurance letter in Sijui Gabon and called him. He's like,
Even UK was infamous.
UK. So a lot of UK cars, a lot of cars out west are all taken West Africa. Some of them are brought over here. Some of them go through South Sudan. So it's a huge issue. But I think the main thing is, by the way, on a side note, insurance of your equipment. Do you get that stuff sorted out?
Yeah.
I think that's
I've,
key.
Was it an irritating? Is it a quick process?
It's an irritating process. I won't lie to you.
Serial
Must be,
numbers.
because They start asking you about serial numbers, a hard disk.
What?
They're like, yako gulizwa?
That's
Have you
what.
insured?
Still processing.
Yeah, so they ask you about insurance, yeah, hard disk, yeah, nini, serial number, your hard disk, and you're there holding your head like, what the fuck? How am I supposed to do this shit? So I've insured, but not insured everything the way I'd want. Checky. So, because this, like, have you noticed? Maybe you're the one who's in the IT world to a certain level. Eh? You've noticed the way hard disks have become expensive. Eh?
Very expensive.
Yeah. So apparently it's a chips thing. Eh? Like this
It is
whole
the shortage.
yeah. So things have become expensive. Like that, I used to use a tough card that I'd bought for, I think I'd bought it for like 40K. Right now it's going for 70K.
See, that's the one you bought for me.
Yeah. I don't know if I bought for you the same.
The SSD.
30K up.
The SSD one that we had.
No, you have the SSD. Tough card is the ones that you use for this. You just put, they're small and they're super fast.
That's the one we bought, oh?
Yeah, they're super fast.
And we bought it before the prices went up.
Also got 40 gig express cards.
Yeah.
$180.
Yeah? For?
$180.
And
Yeah.
right now, how much are they?
Gone up 3 times.
How big are they? 480. Oh. Yeah, you bought them because that's what I had. I had the 481.
Just after we met with you,
Yeah.
like, order them.
So we
Oh,
ordered
you
from
see.
Amazon. We got them for $180. Now I was telling Fazaz, you just get an extra one. Then he's like, it's 3 times the price.
Yeah.
Because of chip shortages, right?
Yeah.
And what's happening is globally, all the companies, this is maybe a side tangent, where video game consoles, these guys have to prepare the next generation of consoles years in advance. So, for example, the PS6, rumors are it will come out in 2027, 2028. And we're like, this generation of PS5, we haven't really experienced the full breadth of it because development costs have gone longer. Development cycles have gone longer, costs have gone much higher. So people are like, do we really need another console? And so what the Sony representatives were saying is, if we don't book those chips right now,
Yeah, we have a problem.
we
Yeah.
have a problem because on top of that, you have Xbox, you have Nintendo, you have all the fucking companies in the world manufacturing. And if you guys go and take it, these guys buy in bulk, but they buy in future, they buy stock just to keep. So your PS6, you can think about 2030 posted. Yes.
So, but it shows you, like, even that whole chips thing shows you how geopolitics works.
Yeah, it's
So you see, like the way I was saying, like earlier, I don't know, I think it's before we started, and I was talking about like something like the fuel strike, and you see the way it's handled, even by the Sifunas. I would not want Sifuna to get into politics through lies, because that's what Ruto got into. Ruto became president through lying. Remember?
Name of God.
Yeah, he was not, and apart from lying, remember when Uhuru was telling him, there's nothing I can do about fuel. He was there like, shut the fuck up. There's something you can do whatever you're supposed to do. And right now he's crying, the same way Uhuru was crying. So I'd want someone like Sifuna to walk away from that. Don't lie to people. Don't tell people that somehow geopolitics means nothing. Because right now, we as content creators, we're supposed to be protesting. Oh, bei ya hard disk imekuwa expensive. Sasa tumeweka vitu chini. You understand? But life doesn't work that way. So I feel like we need to reach a level where in Kenyan politics, someone can tell you the truth and you still make your decision based on the truth. I feel like that's better than I lied to you. I'm going to come and do this a million things that I know I'll never be able to do.
But
Understand?
if all these guys shikana, you still think this guy will come back?
No. If they shikana, of course he's not coming
But
back.
he's not going to let them shikana,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
For that,
Because
you have
money-
two things you want to say.
One is about the robbery.
Yeah.
Do you know if you were targeted or they just walked in lucky and all?
I was targeted.
100%
Because
targeted.
My place, the way that place is,
Sorry,
there's no way.
explain targeted cause. Targeted, you mean because you're Mwafreeka of Eric or targeted as in they've combed the area kind of
Like
targeted?
they know, oh, there's a guy driving a car, goes to the first floor, and then they just got in and were like, oh my God, what is this? Or did they know who you were? And they were like,
Yeah, they know who I was. They knew there were cameras there. Because for a very long time, I used to shoot with my phone. That means if you showed up there, you'd have stolen the computers. And funnily enough, if you ask me what was worse, Kuiba, as much as cameras were more expensive, it would have been worse stealing the computers. Because before you import, you understand?
Oh, yeah.
So there was that.
that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
The only thing that they took were the cameras, right?
Yeah.
Because you also have a Mac. There's a Mac
Yeah.
camera there, and then there's two.
They panicked. But according to me, the mark is because they did the whole thing in such a short span because they took advantage of the watches going for Salah. So you have that 5 minutes, whatever, window. So they did everything in the 5 windows, the 5 minutes, whatever's. And then now a computer, the advantage would have been maybe before they shut it down, you can still track it, find my see an Apple thing. So before, alafu it's just going to be useless because you can only rip it for parts. You can never use it. You know, you can
Yeah, because you can brick it.
Because
basically.
in the aftermath, and just to piggyback on what Fazaz asked, I think also people were, because of the kind of comment you do, there was also an idea of, could this have been like a
targeted.
politically intimidation kind of thing? That crossed your mind as well?
Not really.
Okay.
Because I just knew it was thugs. You see, with politics, I always look at it this way. Anyone who watches me, if it's from the government, they know I don't support Gachagua. If it's from Gachagua, they know I don't support Ruto. It's only the supporters from the side that think I support one of them. Because with both, I've done things that no other podcaster has done. You remember when I always use the example of when the story came out that there's domestic violence at State House. I was the only person who spoke about it. And I spoke about the photos that had gone where you could see like the First Lady looked like she had a black eye. I talked about the story that said in political circles where the First Lady had to be flown out for surgery and life-saving surgery in South Africa.
Life-saving?
Yes.
When was this?
Like during Uhuru's time. So allegedly, there's a story that allegedly there's a time the deputy president was so pissed at her that he beat her at Weston Hotel. Understand? So
This was during Kenyatta's time.
yeah, during Kenyatta's time. So, and Kenyatta had to, because now Kenyatta needed Ruto, he had to organize for her to be flown privately. I'm the only guy who spoke about that.
I think that's what causes his ego to, allegedly, or rather a man's ego, let me not even use him,
Yeah.
to be chin-checked to the point where, see, to the world, you're out here dominating, intimidating. But here's one person who knows you for you, and she doesn't tambua you.
Yeah.
And you're
So,
used to being tambuliwa. So, I mean,
the funny thing is,
I think that's why.
Allegedly, the DP beat
used
his
to-
wife.
Yeah, he used to beat his wife. So that's the First Lady. And now people who've been following that story, because like there's this journalist called Sadiq Shaban. He's even done like posts. If you go to his Twitter, you'll see a thread of her as a First Lady wearing sunglasses in places that doesn't make sense. And then Badai, you look at it and you can see a line that looks like, she walked into the door. You understand? So these are things. And every time that I talk about this with the reality that I'm the only podcaster doing this and I can be hurt for it. You understand? Like no one, even if you're an abuser, you don't want anyone to know you as an abuser. But you see, Kenyan politics is so, in quotes, tribal, but not tribal to the fact of even different tribes, but tribal in the fact of if I decide I'm one term, I'm a two term, I can never look at anything else. So with that in mind, the first guy to ever talk about the Ruto being violent with his wife, do you know who that was and in which year? It was Tuju in 2022. Tuju went to, he was on JKL with, not even if it's not on JKL, he was with Jeff Koinange talking about, you know what, this guy is very violent with women. He's violent with his wife. Tuju said that. But remember that time, no one wanted to hear anything bad about Ruto. It was like, this guy is perfect. This guy, there's nothing. Even, you remember there's that clip that's used. Wanasema ni mwizi. Lakini mwizi wetu. You understand all that nonsense? So now, we fast forward to 2026 and I'm there telling people there's no one perfect amongst all this. So I'll tell people about Ruto's domestic violence case. That time, they're happy. The minute I tell them about Gachagua's bullshit, now it means I'm two-term. Understand? So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. But for me, I'll always do both. Like,
Do you think that they had a truce on the personal stuff? Personal, I mean, is you're talking about my domestic stuff, the violence. Now we're talking about your
Killing.
alleged swindling of money from your own family and potentially having harmed potential baby mama on the side. Do you think like at some point they're like, hey, let's not get into that one?
the funny thing is, because I was following up on all these stories and I was covering them, all of them. Even before this guy was taken to court, I'd already done a video saying it's the most bullshit story you'll ever hear. That guy is not related to Gachagua in any way. He's not Gachagua's son. You know the guy they're saying that Rigathi Gachagua threw in jail and he has these documents from his dad that Gachagua wanted, and since Gachagua refused, then he was thrown in jail, and it's the most bullshit story you'll ever hear. Why? This guy first went to jail in 2013 when the guy who's allegedly his father was the governor. Like, does that make sense to you? Stayed in jail. In 2016, he's sentenced to death. In 2016, yes? Who's still alive?
Wait, sentenced to death for what?
See, robbery with violence.
Oh, okay.
And with robbery violence, it's 2 cases. And it's funny that I'm laughing because the most bullshit story you'll ever hear. So the robbery violence is 2 cases. So he robs the first person through just threatening them. He does not use violence. So even in the charge sheet, it's like with the threat of violence. And then the second guy, he actually used violence on the second guy. And then all this time, he's claiming he has these documents that belong to his father. You understand? Like, how does that make sense? So your father is the governor. Your father is a billionaire. But you're here doing robbery with violence. What are you robbing? Not banks. If it's banks, we can say there's a lot of money.
There's
He's
a lot of
robbing
money there.
Toyota Sientas and Toyota... It was a Toyota Sienta and a Toyota
So
Axio.
no relation to...
No relation.
Okay.
So it's a bullshit story. You understand? And the fact that that story is bullshit, according to me, even the story that he impregnated a girl, then murdered her, is also bullshit. Like, why? Even this murder, when you think about it, like, this girl gets pregnant. Is there a probability he was screwing the girl? Yes, there is. You understand? But murdering her makes no sense. She's pregnant, and somehow he organizes
An accident.
for her to an accident. Like, you understand? So there are stories where if you look at that, you're like, this makes no sense. But now when you do that video, 2-term guys come and say, you've been paid. So when I first reacted on that, I was like, tumeona pesa ya Munyoro imeingia.
So and Dr. Obwaka, what do you think?
Dr. Obwaka, I think he just, he decided
This
to perform.
guy is hilarious. You know the Dr. Obwaka story?
Tell me.
So he was a former, I think, board chair of the Nairobi Hospital, and for a long time,
Yes. This was a couple of weeks back.
yeah, they've been wrangling about it, and I think some orders from above came. All of this allegedly, by the way,
Yeah.
from above came, and he was not yielding ground based on the position, perhaps that was wanted by the top. So at some point, I think as a first threat, it's a narrative. He's picked up and detained. He's an old mzee. He was I think he was gasting 90.
Yes.
Taken for the day, and then of course eventually comes back looking a bit scared, and you're being intimidated. And even at the funeral, the wife, and not to be insensitive, the wife did talk about how it was a running narrative in the house, the fact that these guys are being intimidated, right?
Yes.
So a few weeks later, he's found
It's Shokimau somewhere, yeah?
with a alleged side piece.
Where was it?
Somewhere.
No, I think the wife
Kitengela.
confirmed. The wife confirmed that
It was in
she was with
Kitengela.
her.
Yeah.
The wife confirmed, and she even made a joke that if you have money and you look good, you'll always get ladies.
Yes,
Yeah.
she handled it honorably.
Yeah.
This guy on Ikonini says ati hata kama una sakwa na gava ati you're 90 years old bado kona time kuvua suruali.
Oh, I said that. I said the most random shit. I don't even remember.
One of your reactions, you talked about it in that way. But such a guy, you think that was not foul play?
I don't think it was foul play because the way Solomon cardiac arrest.
But that's so easy to.
You see, cardiac. If you're over 80 and you're out there experimenting now with Viagra for performance, that's why I think.
Can you give you a heart
reaction,
attack?
For that,
Yeah.
For that reaction, I even say that.
Past
At
a certain age, more so.
Ama itu kukumanga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying
The one for horses, yeah?
Viagra was not made to make a dick hard. It was made as a heart medication.
Yes, it is a heart
Yeah,
medication.
yeah.
That's a byproduct.
Yes.
So why will it give you a heart attack?
Because it's made to get your heart to.
Yeah, so maybe he took... You remember the horse thing? The kukumanga, isn't it? Yeah, maybe he took that.
Yeah, but I was saying, like, when you reach that age, the girl, whatever your performance for that day, that's what she should take.
But wait, more importantly, the government potentially wants you dead. Your side chick can chill for
Yeah.
for the next month or so.
Okay, have you ever shikad like this? Like, all logic and reasoning goes up.
Yeah. But at least,
You just have to put a dent in something. you know?
so you can say he came and went. Eh?
He came and went. Oh my goodness.
I want to touch a bit on the new finance bill. I think, Mwaf, you've covered it, right?
No, the funny thing is I've not gone through it because there's been a lot of emotion. What I don't like about the internet is I've just looked at the few things that they're proposing that, like, there's this one thing where they're going to really screw us. That's an LG, eh?
This is an LG TV, yeah.
OLED, eh?
Is it? OLED, yeah.
Damn, man. Okay. Which one? C5. Oh shit. Okay. Apologize. I'm a TV person.
Bro,
Like
if
that.
because of gaming,
Yeah. Oh, because
yeah.
of gaming. Okay.
Big into
Polele
gaming.
jo. Yeah. So I have a C4 and a C2. So,
By
but
the
I'm
way,
not a gamer.
if you want this guy sources for me stuff, you can tutaongea.
Okay. Poleni
Like
nimekuwa interrupted. It's just that Kibes. I know that Kibes. Although my ninis, they're all.
So the reason I was
wanted.
asking is,
Yeah.
who's that gentleman who dresses really well? The politician whose English is like very polished and
Yeah, Kenya.
yeah, the Kenyan, the young kid,
Oh, Casmuel.
Kasmuel. So,
Macquarie.
yeah. So Kasmuel pointed out that we shouldn't be spreading misinformation. And one of the things he was talking about, and I appreciate him doing this,
Yeah.
is remember the phone? They were saying
Yes.
they're introducing more taxes, or allegedly more taxes on it.
Yes.
There's a new clause.
Yeah.
What it comes down to, and he was saying, is that initially when you buy a phone, there are like 4, 5, 6, 7 different taxes,
Yes.
which if you buy a 10,000 shilling phone, you end up paying 15,000 shillings. So this new 25% tax that they're introducing is meant to replace those taxes. So you're only paying a 25% tax on this. So you'll pay 12,500 at the same 10,000 bob phone. But people misconstrued it and saying it's a 25% tax because it was cumulatively 5% here, 2.5% here, 10% there. So they've subsidized that and put it as one tax initially you pay. So I didn't know that because reject the finance bill just kept being circulated in the WhatsApp. When you look into it further, I'm not sure if you guys have had any other bills that have been misconstrued. I heard something about crypto. Crypto, I don't think there's a tax. But what about social media, guys?
That's the nini. When you analyze Kenyan politics, one of the things that is pissing me off right now, and I guess it's politics from all over the world, is people are trying to fight things with that like misinformation. Yes, and to me that makes Ruto look good. Does that make sense? When you have to spread a lie to make something work. Because yes, I had the whole bill. Am I happy with it? The phone thing? No. Because this is what it means. It means that right now, if
I'm
you
actually
go,
just checking for the information on it. Just
yes, if you go and buy a phone, like in the US, and then you come back to Kenya, what's going to happen is when you go to Safaricom to activate your number, they're going to ask you tax. There has to be evidence that you've paid taxes for that phone, for the phone to be activated, for it to be used locally.
So
That's what
it
they're
was
trying to do.
so it was a gift.
It doesn't matter. You still have to pay.
So if you're buying me a phone
25%.
from a Jew, you have to send the tax as well.
Yeah, 25% of the value. You could activate it. Otherwise, you can still have it. Use it on Instagram, use it on what, but hautaweza kuitumia
For calls.
like for calls. Yes. Yeah.
That's how it is in Pakistan.
do you guys have a summary of all the bills that they've?
40% of the phone for tax. And
Yeah.
because the phone already costs so much, you know, like an iPhone 17, it's like
Yeah.
That doesn't.
So okay, so what we'll put this up over here,
Yeah.
but I've got a summary NTV posted. So, what is in the Finance Bill 2026 that affects young Kenyans? So, with cryptocurrency, all virtual assets providers must submit annual user data returns to the KRA. Short-term workers, gratuity tax exemptions limited to contract of 3+ years. Mobile phones, 25% excise duty on phones at activation point. So I think that covers all the taxes, but it's not specified. Digital content monetization, 5% withholding tax on digital content monetization earnings. So I guess that affects us. Digital marketplace income, 5% withholding tax on income from digital marketing and platforms. Betting and gambling and winning, 20% withholding tax on gambling, betting, and lottery winnings. Wasn't it 50% or something last year?
The gambling one, they keep changing it.
Syntax.
So it was
Syntax is the easiest to raise because guys will continue sinning
Yes.
in quotes.
So I'm trying to see if there's more about
But
this.
that phone one is it's a tricky one. Remember, so what I was saying, because now it means that even if you go abroad, one thing I'd want to know is if you go abroad and you upgrade. Like the last time when I had a 14, when I went to the US, I upgraded to the 15. You remember, you don't pay the full price.
Yeah.
So if you come back before they activate, how are they supposed to know that I did not, I traded it in? So there are those things that the phone one is tricky.
It's tricky.
I'm asking ChatGPT. Let's see. 10 major differences between Finance Bill 2026 and 2025 that should be aware of.
But yes, there's a lot of misinformation going around. And
How about surveillance?
I can ask.
surveillance?
In terms of, you saw the Al Jazeera expose, apparently how we're...
So
That is
here's the top
always
10.
happening, man.
So rental income tax increased. The Finance Bill 2026 proposes increasing the monthly rental income tax from 7.5 to 10%. So for landlords, it doesn't matter because they'll pass that on to the
Just pass
tenants.
on to us, yes.
Earlier tax return filing deadlines. So the government wants to shorten the filing deadline for income tax returns from 6 months after year end to 4 months. So instead of June, it goes back to April. It's end of June, right? Yeah, I have to do mine. New tax amnesty program. A new tax amnesty is proposed for tax liabilities relating to periods up to 31st December 2025. What does tax amnesty mean?
But filing income tax has become the easiest endeavor in history because of that. She's called that. What's that lady you correspond with on WhatsApp? She's called Shuru. So I think Kenyans, the older practice for people paying income tax was you'd get your form, and then because people are not savvy or they thought it was more complicated than it was, they'd pay a third party guy. But then Girimbili, give me your details. And now on WhatsApp, have you guys not seen the Ushuru chick? It's a number. So what you do is you text the number, hey. Then as soon as she responds back, telling you the services that you offer, you put in your ID, I think, and PIN. And then within less than a minute, you can file your...
You asking something about cybercrime?
Taxes.
Taxes.
So Ushuru is...
That's the name of the correspondence bot WhatsApp thingy.
Yeah, Kiare.
Yeah, run by KRA.
Okay.
Yeah, about surveillance, I was asking, because Safaricom came up. You guys didn't see that whole expose
Yeah,
on
Al Jazeera.
on yes, and how...
Yeah.
And you see, the funny thing is, it's been in our psyche. Sorry, okay, go ahead.
No, just for the phone. So basically what it's saying is the government says the 25% tax is misleading people, saying it's on top because we're already taxed through multiple layers, which are VAT, excise duty, import duty, IDF, and RDL. This
I think this is going to
25%,
affect, yeah.
25% encompasses all that, and it's a bit cheaper. So
Yes.
not every phone will necessarily become 25% cheaper.
Yes.
KRA will be reading all your M-Pesa messages. That's part of it.
Yes,
There's
the
no
privacy.
the privacy.
The privacy. And they can read into your bank accounts.
Correct.
So
So KRA will monitor every phone in Kenya. This is where things get more nuanced. The bill links tax liability to phone activation, which immediately raised questions about how the government would know a specific phone has been activated. The concern is not that KRA would be reading your messages, but that devices identifiers may be collected. Phone activations may be monitored for tax compliance.
And I think how the tax agency has been working over time. You see, now this is the finality of it reflecting in law. I think they've already been growing that web, and how it came out in terms of our data is, you see the way there's consensus right now that if Gava wants to find you, they can based off of your phone activity, right?
We're a surveillance state.
But ideally that should not be the case. When a court order is said, go and get Sajid,
Yes.
the cop who goes to... let's say you're being looked for a crime. The cop is supposed to get a court order for Safaricom to release
Your data.
your data so they can use it. But in Kenya, that doesn't apply.
Allegedly. Let's just say
Of course, allegedly.
This is all alleged. But allegedly what can happen is they can triangulate your positions up until this point. All the cameras that you see allegedly, real-time monitor, the back-end data, the data centers that are storing all these real-time information can be passed through several vectors of law enforcement, allegedly. And then they can go and they have allegedly people in Safaricom who allegedly can give them this information in real time, allegedly. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Including apps.
Allegedly.
I have a question about the tax thing.
Yes.
Okay, so currently we're already being taxed on phones. On the business side, someone has to explain this to me because, like, I give an example. Like, if you buy a Google Pixel in Kenya, it is price parity with what you pay in the States.
Because of
By how
the
much?
taxes. That's what he's saying. So this what's the Kijana called? Kasmuel. He explains it, and I'll try and find that video. We can put it up here.
Hot take. The finance bill of 2026 is actually a very good money bill. And most of the influencers who are telling you to reject it are doing so for selfish reasons. But a lot of the clauses which they're mentioning are not even in the actual bill. If you read this document, it's nowhere to be seen. Land laws, the thing which Akina Kalonzo and Matiang'i are quoting, are nowhere here. I've seen a lot of people talk about, oh, CG, your ancestral land, your freehold land is going to be turned into leasehold and you'll be paying an annual rent. 1, that is not found in this document. 2, President William Ruto has never signed such a law. I've seen people talk about M-Pesa transactions, that there will be an increase. There is no increase. It's nowhere in this bill. Ukiambia mse yes, anakuambia reject. Ukimwambia kuonyesha iko wapi, they cannot show you where it is in this bill. People have been talking about the taxes on mobile phones, especially this one. I found that one to be rather laughable. Kitambo, when you'd buy a phone, let's say that would cost you 10,000 shillings. When it came to Kenya, you would pay 15,500 for it because you had to pay 16% VAT, 10% excise duty, 25% import duty, 2.5% import declaration fee, and a 2% railway development levy. What the Treasury has proposed is, hey, collapse all these taxes, remove VAT, remove whatever, and just have 25% excise duty. That's all you're going to pay, 25%. So what previously cost us, if this cost 10,000, when you brought it to Kenya, it would cost 15,500. Right now, under the proposed amendment, it would only cost 12,500. Especially now, there's also another one which I found to be rather controversial, where they were saying, this particular creator was saying that KRA will be allowed to sift through your personal M-Pesa details. 1, that's against data protection laws, and it can't happen. KRA can't do that. And then they were saying, so your till number is, the details are available to KRA because when you register it, you register using a KRA PIN, you register using your details. What is this that KRA is going to have jurisdiction over that they already did not? I know that they're definitely not going to snoop on our phones or like have access to our mobile personal M-Pesa transactions, but because agenda people are going to tell you to reject this bill.
What he's saying is the taxes previously, which I mentioned, all of those add up to about 40 to 50% on top. So a 10,000 shilling phone, when you buy it, comes to 15,000 shillings. This new tax encompasses all that under one bill, which is 25% on whatever you buy. So the phone will come landed to you at 12,500 rather than 15,000.
What I'm asking is currently, I don't think that's how the system is. Because like, if you were to buy like a Google Pixel phone, they come out at like $1,000.
Yeah.
You go to Tao, the guys I know who get it from distributors, they're selling it at 130, 135, 140, which is price parity to $1,000.
Yes.
And then if you ship in a phone yourself, you just pay the shipper. You don't pay anything else because they charge you 1 kilo, or if it's over a certain amount, they charge you a percentage.
Yeah.
So I don't know how phones are taxed currently.
Oh, I didn't know that it is that.
If you go to like a
Price.
Samsung store, it will cost more obviously. But if you go Tao, even if you go on your phone right now, if you go to like avicii.com and then avicii.co.k and then you go pick a phone.
Yeah, but allegedly, how many of those guys allegedly get things from Somali distributors who allegedly don't pay?
That's the assessment I'm going with.
You know what I mean?
The phone market is.
Because here's the thing, like a lot of these logistic companies and these courier services, we all know people who can allegedly bring in things without going through the system.
The funny thing is they go
So you
through
get
the
it cheaper.
system. Someone explained it to me. So, how many international airports do we have?
Yeah, 2.
Yes.
We have Jomo, Mombasa, LD.
LD is
well.
international.
Yeah.
So,
You got fucking Emirates and all landing
Jomo,
over there.
Mombasa, LD, Kisumu is not, yeah?
Not it, I know.
I think
Yes.
it's just 2, Eric.
So now, this is what
No, Eldoret is.
Shipments come from LD.
Yes,
ET
still
lands their cargo. Bro, there are
Yes,
767.
that's what I wanted to explain to you because I asked someone like, how does this work? Like the government is looking for taxes, yet there are all these courier companies and there's no tax. Someone explained it to me that when LD International Airport was built, there was no way to make it commercially viable. So the only way to make it commercially viable was through cargo.
Okay.
So they were like, you see, like the way other countries have those ports, is it where it's tax free?
Yes.
So now they decided we are going to make LD that.
So
So that's why-
like a
Bro, you
tax
know,
haven.
we have freighters, I mean, 777, 767
Massive ones.
coming into LD. So
Yeah.
it's usually just
So it makes activity. So everything that you get is legal. And that's why like kitu yote ikikuja, you'll see it's going through tax clearance and it's going through tax what? See, so it's legal, but because they're trying to build LD. But now,
Okay.
Ruto is caught trapped in a very hard, it's between a rock and a hard place.
Place.
But there's There's a Kenyan who described it the best way that we're caught between bad chicks. So he's caught between bad chicks because he's an LD guy. And if he decides he's going to tax things that are coming through LD, he's going to kill all that business. You understand? Because a lot of people rely on that.
A lot.
A lot of people rely on that. So that's Nini. But I was surprised because I thought that it was some sort of illegal stuff happening, that these guys have Nini, but no.
Oh,
it
okay,
was
so
a
it's
deliberate,
legitimate,
yes, it's
but
a
funneled through
deliberate
LD.
action by the government to make sure that, but not Ruto. It's this. I think it's Uhuru who started that. Yes, it was to make sure that LD stays Nini. So you can try and imagine all those Ninis that are coming from LD. So it keeps LD very active, and so it was a good idea.
But in terms of foresight, where foresight and corruption cause problems, we always talk about it because we see these planes every day. Do you guys remember sometime there was a CEO called Miko something, KQ guy? I forget his first name, but I think he was from Poland. When Naikuni left, then the company started having a downturn. They posted their first loss. They think they got rid of a guy called Gunze. They brought in Mikos. So Mikos, part of his strategy was like, guys, the world is moving in a very e-commerce manner. People are buying things online. People need to import stuff. For the turnaround, and he gave them fiscal projections. Get me one 767 freighter for cargo.
Really?
And like from a financial, revenue generation, he was like, that's going to be enough to start the turnaround. This was like 10 years back.
Oh, okay.
Kenya Airways has never been a cargo airline. This is now this.
Since we're talking about aviation,
this is corruption fighting back. No, Goja. If you see the number of freighters that come into Jomo on a daily, that are just, of course, from Italy, from all over, like Asia, just bringing in stuff. This guy wanted now to position KQ to have had a huge part, so much so, it would have turned into a cargo airline, and successfully.
Successfully so.
So that cargo can support passenger.
In fact, it would, passenger, maybe you not even now be looking for profits. That's just to maintain the heritage and all of that. But corruption anyway hindered that, bro.
We're talking about aviation. Tell us how your past week has been. Maybe you can update Mwaf. Can we talk about it?
Not specifically. But I'm transitioning. I've said I'm transitioning jobs, so it's started a new engagement somewhere. Just trying to balance getting used to a whole new thing.
So what's involved in when you transition? And let's say you're a pilot going from one company to another. You have to do training all over again.
You have to start those in-house company training. So what happened was when we were looking for the JFK direct flight.
Sishike, air hostess.
Yeah? No.
That kind of training.
Of course, HR. Those are HR issues that are phrased in a very specific way in terms of fraternization. Anyway, so when we were getting the direct Jomo JFK flight, what happened was the FAA have to come and do an audit of everything aviation. How do you guys do your things? How do you run your programs? Standard, safety, etc. So they realized, there's a lot of Kenyaji things going on here, even with quote-unquote reputable companies. So they streamlined. They just gave us different findings, came up with structures. Part of the structures were, when you're joining a company, you have to be trained in terms of the whole company, history, policy, manuals, documents, all the driving documents that cause how the operation is done. You have to be taken through. And for a specific amount of time, class has to run from this time to that time, etc. So what companies have done is they've copied a lot of structures and things from each other. So from the student, it's just formality.
It's a formality. So it's everything you know. It's just they have to make sure you've attended class, you've ticked this, you've done that. It's nothing new you're learning.
No, nothing new.
Is there anything that surprised you this week that was a foreign concept, or it's just the same?
Of course, there are some nice foreign concepts. Amazing stuff. We're learning every day, guy.
Mwaf, what about you?
So it's Nini, it's still passenger, ma.
Yeah, still passenger. I can tell you more off camera.
Before Mwaf came in, it's another thing I want to get Mwaf's opinion on.
Yeah.
Mwaf, are you familiar with this movie called The Odyssey?
I think so.
So Christopher Nolan, maybe just to
the new one. The new one that's upcoming, yeah?
Yeah, so essentially The Odyssey is, what's the guy's name? Platypus. Sorry. Huh? the Odyssey. Can we put the trailer up? Let me
Yeah,
work it over
because
here
I
so we
know-
can see. Then we can. But we want. Can we put it up when we?
As long as you don't put the audio, I think it should be.
Are you
okay.
are you familiar with Nolan?
Yeah, Christopher Nolan. Yeah,
Big
yeah,
time, yeah. So
Is it? No, they're full of shit. You'll have to. They'll demonetize. Then you have to
Yeah. So
ask them to monetize it. Then it's like a process before.
Odyssey trailer.
So it's just good to.
Oh, sorry. Odyssey trailer.
Yes.
So we can't put this up, because it's a
Yeah,
movie
you can just put the
for
video
for us
play.
to see, Ama.
Yeah, it's the one that has this guy also, the actor. Okay, Jason Bourne. Yeah.
Jason Bourne, what's his name?
In quotes,
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
yeah, Matt Damon. Yes.
So can I put the volume and we watch, and then, but we don't need to put it for those guys that want to see it. You can just go and search it, but just check it out more.
I feel like this TV is brighter than. It's really bright.
How do I get rid of?
The cameras.
Tell me what you remember.
A wife. A son.
Mama.
We won a war. Help me go home.
It's a household waiting for master. I want you to choose me.
It's because King is coming back.
No, he's not. What would he do if he came back here and find all these suitors in his house? You're pining for your daddy. You didn't even know. Like some sniffling bastard.
Who's looking after your wife and son?
Do you see? My dad is coming home. Bringing vengeance.
Bringing it all.
Looks dope, eh?
I need everyone in this party dead.
I can still save them.
You're a man who needs to control his fate. But you cannot control this.
That world is gone.
No one can stand between me and home. Not even the gods.
I think he's asleep.
So Christopher Nolan coming out. There's actually it's about his journey
Yeah.
to try and get home, and it took him I think Odysseus, it took him like 20-30 years to get home. There's actually a painting, we'll try and put that up over here, where when he finally gets home, no one recognizes him. The only person that recognizes him was his dog. And the dog was so old and withered away, he was just waiting for the day the master came back. So it shows the picture of the dog looking at him and then passing away. And he couldn't go and comfort the dog because he would be caught by the strangers and they would know that this is the king. But anyway, the conspiracy, so not conspiracy, allegedly, is it? We've used allegedly quite a lot.
The disappointment.
So, have you watched Troy the movie?
Yeah.
Achilles was played by Brad Pitt. Let's put up
Yes.
Brad Pitt on the
Yeah,
screen.
yeah, I've watched Troy. Yeah.
Very masculine figure. Yani, everyone was like, wait, this is Hector. Yeah, exactly. Now, in this new movie, wameweka a transgender to play Achilles.
Achilles, yeah, sorry.
This was the actress who was, what's her name? Faza? What's her name, the actress?
Don't know her real name, but she played Juno, a famous American movie, teen into adulthood movie where she was a pregnant chick who got pregnant in high school. Chick.
Troy.
Chick.
Yeah.
And then now later in life, she
came out.
decides to transition, and now she's
Just search what's the name?
Oh, so she's playing a dude right
She's playing.
What's her name?
She's playing the dude. Like
Elliot Page. So yeah, she used to be Helen Page. Oh,
not sure. Elliot sounds both.
Elliot Page. So Ellen Page. I think Ricky will edit this one. So Ricky, can we put up the picture of Ellen Page and Elliot Page? They're the same person. But Ellen Page was this mama. That's who she was. And then that's who he became.
Yeah. Oh shit, I know her, man. And she's such a good actress. Yeah.
So she's become
Actor.
she's become an actor.
Actor.
So actually, Ricky, put up this picture. I'll send it to Ricky. But Mwaf, this is for you.
I know her. Like I
but-
know him. I know them.
So that was one. That was one. It's confirmed, right? That
Yeah.
Oh, it's a rumor.
And I think he's gone ahead to like defend his casting choices.
anyway, that's one casting choice.
Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. The other one was Helen of Troy. So Helen of Troy was the epitome of beauty. She had blonde hair, blue eyes.
Epitome of European perceived
beauty.
representative beauty.
Yeah, from the Greek mythos.
Is this same Odyssey the one that has Lupita?
Yes.
Now this is the one where she will play
Helen.
of Troy.
Oh, yeah, the one that has made people really mad. Like Elon. Elon is angry. Yeah?
Now here's the thing.
Yeah.
I understand it's there are two ways to look at it. Okay, if you look at this movie like the way we did Plays in Saints, Saints was like 90% African guys playing white roles, and it was a play. It was seen as fine.
Yeah.
And a movie's theatrics. That's what it is.
So okay, I try to imagine us casting
One side is
Bassanio.
one side is defending, but then also this is now that's a play. You can get away with it. It's a theater. There's a certain production budget that goes with it. But this is Christopher Nolan. Hundreds of millions of dollars have been put in this. Achilles and Helen of Troy. They're pivotal characters in movies, and you want people who represent that look to play it because you're not working against a budget. So, in his defense, apparently, in order to qualify to meet Oscar standards and the Golden Globes and be nominated, you have to have minority hires play senior roles. So you need an Indian, you need a person of part of the LGBTQ community to play senior roles. So I think that's what they compromised on. But I wanted you guys your thoughts on it.
So
I thought it was a bit
that's
fucked up.
interesting that there's what's her name? Elliot Page.
So
will be the Achilles heel for that movie.
Imagine. So there's two sides that I could see Mwaf leaning. Well, I stand corrected. Leaning to another side when he found out Lupita. I understand the patriotism of Lupita has made it to Odyssey and in a main star role, and kudos to her. Alumni is saying shout out to Peter, you know. But then now as a movie fan, you're conflicted because you also know Helen of Troy and not the representation of beauty, the representation of European beauty standards, right?
Yes.
Blonde, blue-eyed female supposed to play that role. Throw in Achilles, Greek god, soldier, general. There's a specific look
for that, yeah.
So now the diversity hires in terms of its. What do you think about the Lupita one? As a Kenyan,
Lupita,
and
as a
movie fan?
Kenyan, of course, I'm happy for her. But then, as I was joking, that will end up being the Achilles heel of the movie itself, because now. Right now, America is so divided, especially when it comes to the whole diversity thing. Diversity.
It's like it's forced.
DEI, yes? So, because of that, the movie might end up performing poorly because of that. But now, there's an interesting aspect to it also, where liberals have always been the bigger movie fans than Republicans. Because you see, Hollywood is looked at as this liberal movement.
True.
So, I think it's going to be interesting to see how it does commercially, because there are people who might want to support it because of diversity. And if they played their roles, you understand, sometimes when an actor is so good, you get lost in the movie, mpaka you forget that. You don't see Lupita, you see Helen of Troy. And if you didn't know how Helen of Troy looks, because remember, it's someone we are all imagining, you might end up getting lost in the whole thing. So I don't know how it's going to do, but I think commercially it's a risk that can either work or backfire.
Imagine how, just for context, before guys get in their feelings, of course, one day we struggle for the loss of history on this African side of ours.
Yes.
Famously, you can think of, this is not even my tribe's person, but when you talk about those kind of stories from here, you have the story of like Mombi. Imagine that being played by like a white chick.
Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie is starring as Mombi. Angelina Jolie. Like,
But you know the thing is,
as a 35-year-old who grew up on movies, movie fan, I love the craft so much, who's transitioned to like the modern day kind of entertainment where I struggle with make believe. So for me to get me to like the theater, you really have, and then so now I was gonna go, but then that for me,
I think it's worth going. You see,
I'm
the
not
thing is-
interested
I mean,
anymore.
funny enough, I'm interested because I love the trailer. I've not seen Helen of Troy there, so I don't think if it's such a major role that itafanya nini, but I'm very interested. The trailer, they know how to cut the trailer because I remember seeing the backlash, but I didn't think it was this movie.
You know, if the movie turns out really good, I think it will crush everything. There was a game called Last of Us 2 for those who are gamers.
You should have used that for Mulan, bro. The movie.
So Last of Us 2, Neil Druckmann is considered one of the best video game creators. Mind, and they made brilliant games. And Last of Us 2 was leading off the success of Last of Us 1, which was a critically acclaimed game. Like beloved characters. There was a guy called Joel and Ellie. And so you play as Joel, who's like a stepdad figure, very macho, very, very masculine, right? And at the end of Last of Us 1, there are hints at it, but Ellie turns out to be a lesbian as a very young kid. And then in the second movie, she you can tell she's a lesbian. And they kill Joel. And they like his head is beaten in. It's a very brutal thing, and it's like at the start of the game. And you play the rest of the game as Ellie, essentially. And Ellie is this female character that takes on hundreds of men and kills people. And they were really pushing that woke agenda, right? So the game got a lot of negative reviews when it launched. Like it got shit bombed. Like what do you call review bombing, right?
Yeah.
Hundreds and thousands and thousands of negative reviews.
Yeah.
But the game sold exceptionally well. And when I played it, I was like, okay, fine. If you put aside the biases that are in our head, because I like playing as machismo characters like a Rambo or an Arnold Schwarzenegger. The game was excellent.
Lin Shayu.
Who's that?
Tekken.
Lynne, yeah. No, who is? It's not Lynne Shay. Who is
That
that?
was sarcastic of Lin Shayu, man. You don't know Lin Shayu from Tekken?
I
She's a
missed you.
a chick's chick.
Have you watched the anime Baki?
I haven't watched Baki.
Baki's a fucked anime. It's like this kid who grows up to be like a fighter, and his dad is like a fighter who's like the whole.
The one with the red hair, yeah?
Yes, no. But then in the new Tekken, they've added his dad.
Yeah, I saw the trailer of that.
Holy shit.
Anyway, Mwaf, you also next week you're heading away. You're going to China.
Yeah. But before that, because
Yes.
I have very bad manners because I didn't say thank you, man. Like to the both of you, when that whole robbery shit happened, the two of you came through for me.
No worries, bro. You're one of us, man.
Equipment, ulinirushia financially. So thank you, man. Like I don't take that for granted. And to quote Idi Amin, I'll revenge. Yes.
We discussed it now after the fact, after you thanked us on air, and we didn't have to. And I remember we were thinking how the kind of free platform you've offered both of us, connections, some of my biggest guests, you're the one who plugged me. So, and then also as a fan of your show and understanding the nature of the continuity.
Yeah.
It was a no-brainer. We didn't even talk. In fact, after we're like,
When I saw the video, I was like,
Yeah.
hey, Eric. Fucking- we were along the same train of thought, man. But
But asanteni, you can never take these things for granted, and because I ended up getting backlash. I don't know if you had that where because I don't know which video I did, and then I was like, you yote ni vipindi re, hakuna kitu ile happen. Mwaf was not robbed.
inamaanisha? Or
Like,
like
I
you
was
had
not robbed.
set it up.
guys
Yes.
think you set it up.
Yeah, man, it's and
So
it's
stupid.
the same thing I was telling you about the political situation in Kenya, where if I say something I disagree with politically, then I'm fake. Everything about me is fake. So it was like that robbery did not happen. This guy is just faking it, and they're thinking like these are the sort of people who are supposed to have the mental capacity to replace Ruto. Yeah, they're like maybe
No
they're not that
chance.
sharp enough. Yes, because that means they'll always. It's about feelings. It's not about reality. You have to create this make believe of this and this and this. Yes, that was the story.
Over time, is your skin getting thicker? Yeah, from watching it seems so.
I think so. Yeah.
Yes. So it reaches a level where, you remember, like even when you are asking if it's 1 term or 2 term, reaches at a level where now you have 2 choices. Do I spread disinformation so that I'm popular all the time on the internet? Or do I tell you something that's factual? So like one of the things we were talking about was, what is it called? SHA. And you remember we were doing like a fundraiser for Ian's dad. And Ian said that SHA paid like 280K for the dad surgery. So it played a role in that. Then I talked about my mom's cataract surgery. SHA played a role in that. So it's like these 2 things can be true. It can be the SHA is fucked up. There's a lot of corruption in it. Remember we talked about the corruption with the, and it's also working. It's not fully not working. Understand? But Kenyans want you to just, hakuna kitu ina work. Kila kitu imeharibika. And you can't do that. You have to, so, and now that moving from this side to this side, you have to understand that as long as I'm not saying what people want to hear,
You're bought.
yes, you're not only bought, but you'll be insulted, you'll be cancelled, you'll be like, even the whole cancellation of BN. You understand the way it is
We were
dumb.
actually talking about this before you came. So there's like a reel we posted. Actually, not posted. It's part of the trio we do with Farid,
Yeah.
where Lynne Ngugi had commented that something negative about BN doing whatever he was doing. And for us, we were like, well, Lynne Ngugi is on a YouTube platform.
Yeah.
YouTube is American owned. A lot of the products and services were an import-export dependent economy. Like we don't manufacture our own things over here. A lot of the things are tied to European countries or colonialist countries. Even for the British, for example,
Yes.
our goods, our import, our exports. So if you're so pure, detach yourself from all these products and services and go and live on a farm. And for all the people who are saying it. But what BN did was he was just trying to put his name on a global map.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And it's how he earns his living.
And it's how he earns his living. There's another, we've talked about this as well on the previous podcast, it was Beast, the gamer. Was he was even catching flack that he shook the hand of the president, the French Macron president, who recognized him,
Yeah.
right? Oh, why would you meet him? Why would you do this? He was a gaming guy who's promoting video games because it got him out of the slum. And he went for these events, and one of the people he met as part of these events was Macron, who really took to him and remembered him. So this time when he came around, he told Ruto, Beast, I remember him. Imagine that.
Yeah.
That exposure to him has basically led to more interviews, led to more platforms, led to more meetings. Is that called selling your soul?
We are full of shit. And when you call it out, people say you don't have principles, but we are the guys who are principled. We are principled enough to be able to separate our feelings from reality. And the reality is being recognized by these people. Even like right now, if I was to meet Ruto, let me say I'm just walking around and Ruto was like, iko nini? I'll lie to myself that it would make me feel good. I'll automatically feel good like, damn, this is the president. He knows iko nini. If I was to say, every other time with Eric, you'll understand like, I'm a Sajid. Do you understand what I'm saying? But the way these guys expect is, Sajid ameenda pale kubonga juu ya data centers, then it's like, Coffee Pump podcast, and then you're just supposed to be like, fuck you, why do you're not supposed to watch me? That's not how life works. And they pretend that that's how it works. And when you call out the hypocrisy, it's backlash.
But is hers bought and paid for or just misinformed outlook?
What?
Lynne Ngugi specifically.
Ila Lynne Ngugi ilini surprise. Yeah, Lynne ilini surprise because she's a podcaster. And a podcaster
One of
knows
the biggest
the
podcasters,
way, yes. You know the way there's this thin line. We are always walking on eggshells because at any given moment we can fuck up.
And say something that people can attack us
So
with.
for Lynne to do that, like I understand the others. Yeah, Lynne surprised. Like, do you know I did a whole reaction video of Lynne.
That's what I'm saying. Because of her stature in the space, is hers bought and paid for?
This kind of I did a whole reaction video on the whole thing and I never released it because it was just me expressing disappointment that not you. I understand them trying to cancel him because they are trying to reach a certain level. Because you have to understand also, the worst thing about success is they say success has many fathers, failure is an orphan, yes? There are people like when this whole shit was happening, and like this whole Polo Kimani shit was happening. We are talking about Scent. I'm in a group where, like, it's mostly because I'm a hip hop fan. So I'm in a group with all these hip hop fans, and someone was like, "We made you." So they made Ikoneni. Like, you made me.
Make another Konnichiwa.
Yes, you understand. So, but I understood the frustration because, like, one of the guys I remember when we started out, we had like maybe less than 10,000 subscribers. We got into a disagreement, and he said something like, "You're always begging online." Why? Because I started putting my M-Pesa number there. But remember, this is like, I think maybe we were 10,000 or...
He makes fun of me for that a
Yes.
lot.
So,
But Eric, 90% of his podcast, ni picha yake, please send tip.
yeah.
The podcast is on the corner. Huko. 90% of it is tip. Eric with his glasses over there.
Yeah. So,
I'm on the
this
crosser,
guy-
guys can leave, man.
nakwambia,
It
so
has to
this-
start.
Sorry, before that, did you get like the 2 shilling I sent the other day?
Yeah, oh shit.
There were
Okay.
times, the time someone sent me something ridiculous.
Like 1 shilling.
That
Yeah,
I want to see how less I
kuna
could send.
tutumaga hivyo. Yeah. People send 1 bob, people send... But I was saying like... so now this guy disses me when this thing is starting. And then it just keeps growing and keeps growing. So a few weeks... I don't know if it was last week or what. He was still in the same group saying, "Oh, Mwaf wants men to take showers so that he can fuck them." Shit.
Jesus Christ.
And that's
That's the
when
only
like,
reason for sharing, man. God damn.
Yeah, that's when I was like, you know what? That's now the price of success. Like, people will always support you as long as you don't reach a certain level. So now with BN has reached a level we never thought a Kenyan can reach.
I'm so happy.
Nyashinsky, if a lot of people were to even watch clips that Nyashinsky from that show that he did, the Showman Residency, they'd cancel him immediately. This guy was on stage 7 days with 100 people on stage. Like, it was choreographed. It was what? You can see the millions invested, and you can see the millions that he got back. For once in Kenya, ticket prices were based on availability. The people who went for the first concert were paying 3,500 shillings. By the last concert, the cheapest ticket you could get was for 4,500, and it was sold out. You understand? So now, if you're seated somewhere...
How packed was the place?
It was packed. Because of the last show.
Capacity?
Ooh, I don't know, but maybe it's over...
Trying to pocket watch a bit.
Yes, it's over 1,000 people. I need to ask, but over 1,000 people, if everyone is paying 4,500, you can try and imagine that's 4.5. And there were 7 shows. So you're talking about over 30 million made in 1 week.
Put 5 million into like production, all of that.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Even if you put
So-
a third of it, into production cost, renting place,
And
the guy
yeah.
still cleared like what, 20-30 million in 7 days.
Yes, and the 1,000 I'm talking about, I've push number chini. So when you look at that, and let's say you're a struggling rapper, you'll be angry. You'll be like, fuck this guy. So I understand when struggling artists are like, fuck this guy, he's a sellout, he's a what. But when I see someone of Lynne's caliber doing the same shit, and they're like, nah.
Would
this
you
is
ever
now
post that
fucked up.
video back? Were you disappointed in what Lynne said?
I was like, maybe time may Peter. Because the funny thing about it is I also love the way BN handled it. He replied once, then just ignored the whole story. For me as a podcaster, I'm never able to do that. Like, if we get, let's go. Wacha tuende iko nene. So that's the nini. But with her, I was, shit. Kumbe pia nye muli react, because with her, it surprised us.
I can show you the
rest I'm not surprised.
Let me
I'm
just show
like,
you the video. For those guys that want to see this, we actually, by the time this one comes out, will be the previous episode we did with Farid. But let me just show you right now. And maybe we can put it up over here as well.
Oh, so even Farid alicomment hiyo. Naweza taka kujua what Farid thinks about cancel culture. Because I always find cancel culture to be bullshit.
I think he thinks it's bullshit too.
It's the most bullshit thing.
They're trying to crucify BN for performing. And people are like, no, cancel BN, he needs to be cancelled. How can he do this in front of a colonial master? And some of the people saying this are some of the biggest YouTubers we have around. We're talking about like Lynne Ngugi. She had a very harsh stance on how BN is selling out. And I'm thinking, if you're so purist and Puritan about money and how you take money, then you wouldn't do anything. And you wouldn't be on fucking YouTube. Exactly.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Fuck you guys. No, this pisses me off because
Hey, ulikuwa umejaa, eh?
are we meant to get money, be successful in a world which is globalized? We're not tethered away from it.
Dude, it is absolute categorical jealousy. That's all it is. And it's the same jealousy that we see when we get comments on social media about fuck you and fuck Farid and fuck Eric. jealousy. Who the fuck is most of them have been saying fuck me recently, and I am perfectly fine with that because my response is always your mom's a whore. Can we 1, 2, 3 say fuck you to all of these haters? 1, 2, 3. Fuck you to all the BN haters.
That's,
And BN, hats off to you. Hats off, BN.
Yeah, so
so this is the funny thing. You see, when we talk about jealousy, can we say that she's jealous? She's successful. She's
So
successful kabisa. Like bonga juu ya pocket watching. She's the sort of person at ile I'm sure making 3M per month is not beyond her.
was it is it like maybe giving her the benefit of doubt? Is it like her to make these kind of statements, or is it very random?
She's become really political, and sometimes when you enter something, and I say this respectfully, she was never political, so it's maybe she's new in it. So a lot of stuff that's happening to her is new, and it's new to a lot of people. Like I always see when people talk about, like even when I hear Gachagua talking about, Ruto is killing Gen Zs, I'm like, who was killing the Gen Zs or that millennials or whatever? You understand? So people have gotten politically woke, which I love. It's good that people are more conscious. But as we become more conscious, let's not attack people who have nothing to do with the struggles that Kenyans are going through. Ombachi and his cooking has nothing to do with anything that's happening in Kenya. When you start attacking
Did Ombachi get flack? Yeah.
So Ombachi and Bien are the ones who got flack. Nani didn't get as much. What's his name? Eliud was not cancelled as much. All of the artists that performed there, Akina, Yemi Alade, were not cancelled. With Nani, they went even to Vile alikuwa dressed. Nacheki.
Bien,
And with me, I won't go into names, but I saw one of my friends cancelling Bien. I was like, I understand this. I understand this.
Why?
He's a Bien. He's a bitter nigga. So I understand. But for her, I didn't understand.
Wait, producer's on his phone, but he's not even paying attention to that. We should seriously ban all phones on the back end. You guys should pay attention. Anyway, my point is, by the time this comes out, we'll gauge how the reaction would be. But I feel if it does blow up, what you'll see people tweet, including Lynne maybe, is privileged children, Mwindis, racist, what do they know? I have a feeling that's where it'll go. We'll see. By the time your episode comes out, we'll get a better idea.
I'm from the struggle, man. Like, and for me, I always
No,
say,
for us, for that clip in particular, I think Eric will be less targeted, but definitely me and Farid, that Mwindi thing will come up. Like, send this Indian back. There'll be definitely something like that.
Okay, which is bullshit.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Because another thing is, let's close down Alliance
Français.
That
Good
thing
point.
has the amount of cultural effect that thing has had in Kenya. That's why we organized the first Rowan and Cut. Rowan and Cut one was shot there, Nacheki. So that place is iconic, and it's iconic for Kenyan culture. So for us to have this, I call it selective outrage, and it really pissed people off. Because I started, every time someone would say cancel BN, I'd put Uhuru and Macron standing next to each other. I'd be like, oh shit, this is not. And then I always joke that, oh shit, what's it called? Neocolonialism started in 2024 because that's when we started hating Ruto. So now, because we hate Ruto, we are supposed to hate Ombachi and BN. You understand? It's like, how far are we supposed to go? Like, we're supposed to, but I've never even looked at it from the perspective of YouTubers, neocolonialism, I guess. I don't know, man.
Anyway, you're going to, maybe on lighter note, you're going now to China next week.
Yeah.
Tell us about the trip, bro. What's planned?
Yeah, man. Looking forward to it. What's planned? I want to try out some driverless cars. See if I can take a driverless taxi and feel comfortable. Driverless bus.
Where are you guys going?
So I'm going to, the first place I'm going to is Guangzhou. I hear them saying Guangzhou.
Yeah.
So I'm going to Guangzhou. And then I want to go to Shenzhen because of tech and that. I want to also source for Econini merchandise.
By the way,
was it easy to get that visa? Is it
it's but you have to pay because someone has to fill in for you, blah blah blah. So the people that you consult with, you pay like 28 Gs. Okay, the ones that I consulted for me, I paid 27 Gs. and then the visa itself is 8K.
It's a sure bet, almost.
Yeah, it's sure bet. Yeah.
Mwaf, so is someone organizing the itinerary for you?
Yes, I have someone kwa ground. It's a guy that I've interviewed before. It's called Kimuti. So Kimuti stays there and understands the whole thing. So he's even the one receiving me at the airport.
So he's someone we can engage with because we're looking at March as well. People told me to go to local guys like King's Collection or there's a company called Nia. But the price they're selling at.
Yeah, so nikiwa kwa ground, let's talk, man. Because I want to do much. Because I want to do Ikonini much. I want to do Prophet Habakkuk finally.
What is that?
I need to do that.
Oh yeah,
It's
the tag. Yeah.
So I want to do all that, and I also want to check out if they have interesting tech. I've been thinking of having like a electronics shop. So if I can go there and see if there's anything I can.
What's with the snake thing, man? It comes to boiled snake.
Yeah, I was saying that one of the things that I want to do is I want to face my fears. Yes. So one of the things that I fear the most is a snake.
Utakula umbwa.
So doggy siwezi kula, funny enough.
Golden retriever.
Skiza.
We'll see what Lynne Ngugi has to say about
Viceland.
that.
Oh shit, Lil watching Viceland once, eh? Oh damn, man. Oh, you need to chill out. Tell say hii podcast yangu. Okay. So I was watching Viceland and from Vice TV. I don't know if you guys knew about Vice TV. Vice TV used to be really good. So one of the things they were talking about food in China. And there was this restaurant where these guys were just seated and someone showed up with a big python and he's like, yes, how do we cook this? And then you see them pointing there. So I always joke that they're like, endo boil kichwa, hapo matako fry, alafu hapa tumbo nini.
Even the thought, man. Would you eat a snake, bro?
Fuck no.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about maybe that's how I need to face my fears. If I was to eat that shit, I'll never fear it again. I'll be like,
man.
food!
Oh.
Yeah!
Hey, no,
Because
Mwaf.
there was muluamwa. Did you say muluamwa with nini? Like frog legs? Of course, you never ate
I've
that
had
shit.
frog legs.
You've had frog legs?
That's the nastiest thing I've ever eaten, and probably the nastiest thing I would ever eat.
Where did you have it?
In Texas. And then we were in a rib-like establishment.
So why would you have frog legs?
As soon as my whole family, I'm looking at their tables, guys, I've ordered big rib, nini. You know, there's with the frog legs, man. Nothing to write home about. I'll never eat snake, though.
So
Yeah.
Mwaf,
Your frog legs ni funny. Because I've seen some cow, Chinese girl eat alafu anaja miguu nje. Alafu like,
easy. So Mwaf, when you find these suppliers of clothes and stuff,
yeah.
you let us know as well. Because
Yeah,
even
I'll
we're
let you
looking
know,
at
I'll
much,
let
we're
you
trying to do for Yacht, we're trying to do for Coffee Bar.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
I think it's easier getting from there and it's cheaper and you just
Yes.
order.
And then we do the trip as well, bro.
I think we do it.
Bang a trip like that.
See, Mwaf has a guy over there
I
you can
think-
hook us up with.
Yes, nita hook up naye. So him, another thing that he wants to do is we will also visit a few tech companies. So I'm looking forward to that, like a few TV companies, a few whatever, and companies that are trying to set up in Kenya. So I'll interview a few Chinese CEOs. It's going to be interesting. I hope they can speak English.
So he set a podcast for you over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy is good.
I'm always working.
Mwaf, you need to hook us up with this guy because, by the way, I think it's worth visiting China.
For sure.
How much is a ticket gonna cost? Like roughly?
If you book it early enough, because like I'd booked me and wife, and each ticket to and fro was like coming to around $900.
Per person.
Yes.
That's not bad.
Yes, so it's like 450. Alafu mi niliamua ni Qatar. Nilisema, I don't know which flight you guys go with. You'll think Qatar pay me, but I believe once you fly Qatar, you'll never fly
that's
another.
not-
flight.
Qatar
a
is
fact,
nice.
that's a fact.
Qatar is
You'll
good.
never fly another nini. Like internet go juu. Like the trip becomes
So
short.
unaenda Qatar,
Yes.
alafu Qatar another 12-13 hours.
Yeah. It's not 12, it's like 9 hours. So it's
From Doha.
So
Yes.
what we do
from
is
Doha, it's 9 hours. Yeah.
we go Qatar, we spend the night, we break the trip, and then we go.
Yeah.
Now we
you
go
can do
back
that.
with Mwaf as well.
You said you break the
Yeah,
trip.
funny enough.
'Cause Qatar
I
is
think
how
I'm
many
going to
hours?
enjoy. So mkirudi, I think naeza rudi na nyinyi.
For sure.
Yeah,
for
because then
sure.
you'll even know, and then we go together. And imagine doing a podcast over the three of us,
Podcast,
Yeah,
live stream.
or live stream.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Like this is one of those trips that Nico truly excited about.
And how long are you going for?
Second, back on the 18th.
It's a pretty long trip.
So I'm living there on the 18th. So I think sijui kuntafika.
Na content mtakuwa mnafanya namna gani?
Shit, I have to have. So sintakodo iko nene nikiwa huko. So
Do you
still record myself.
Do you want the
using-
DJI?
I was planning to buy one. huko.
Okay, so. By the way,
yeah.
I realized DJI is a fucking Chinese company, by the way. And how sick are their
But the
products?
funny thing is, come on, it's an nini, because then it means I can record myself nikienda. If you can separate with it for some time, I can go with it.
I think we have it here. We'll just give it to you, bro.
Yeah.
Someone lost the case for the gimbal.
Yeah.
You have to be very delicate with it. Because
And we don't need them for the lives?
Oh, by the way, I found. I think it was you was telling me. The previous guys I was working with, they lost my DJI
Yeah.
and they replaced it without telling me.
Or the DJI itself.
Yeah, like the entire thing. And then they borrowed this one and lost this fucking one as well. And so the one they've given me is like a second-hand one, apparently, right?
Oh.
It doesn't have the case. It doesn't have the lenses.
Okay. Kama iko sensitive, I'll just buy. Because I was
No,
planning to buy.
take it.
Go around.
To be honest, like
I would say take it while you're there and you need to pick stuff for it and for me as well.
let me be honest with you. I would never use it. Like after live streaming on this. To be honest, I'd rather buy another iPhone like this because that DJI overheats. This one, man, we live streamed 2.5 hours, bro. Battery held up.
Yeah. With
Charge-
17, huh?
This 17. 17.
Okay.
Honestly, so DJI, you can take it and keep it as long as you want.
Because 16 pia hainenegi. 16 pia
Yeah, it's not bad, right? And the quality is good as well. Anyway,
Because the most interesting thing you come to iPhones is
Yeah.
when someone is talking to you in a club.
Fazak, can you just get some coffee bags? I want to give Mwaf.
Yeah. Like
as
by
well.
the time we were shooting this, when I was headed here, just before I could here, I'd gone to the super to like buy a few things, and then I was with my daughter, and then we decided to call my wife because she's in Shanghai right now, and she was in a club, and the iPhone is so clear, like the noise cancellation is so crazy. Tunaongea kwa phone, and she's claiming she's in a club. I'm like, no. She switches to video. The club.
Or it closes in the
like
background.
the noise cancellation is perfect.
It's really good, eh?
Yeah, it's good.
Mwaf, so we're launching coffee products.
Okay.
So we made 3 blends. Kuna midnight blend. So these were initially we did them as a first batch just to try how they look. We're improving on them kidogo, but I wanted to give this to you. So
Sante.
kuna do you have a bean grinder?
I need to get one. 'Cause
That's there's
I told you,
incentive.
I was telling him
Yeah.
like before, I was telling you Robo really loves coffee.
Yes.
So I
Yeah.
need a coffee maker for the office. I've been even thinking
This is
about
the guy
it.
you're going to meet in China.
No, Robo is one of his
Robo is
hosts.
like, yeah, he's joined the
Okay,
team.
okay,
Yeah.
so I mean, so you can gift one of these things to him. So the first one is called Midnight Coffee Blend.
Okay.
If you remember, we used to do midnight coffee runs.
Yeah.
So this is like a dark roast espresso. This is for those late night sessions when you're having at Ikonini.
Okay.
This is one of them.
Sante.
Alafu kuna
Alafu vile naenda China tayari na inshallah, and I know what has been written here. It's dark roast.
so this one is called Konnichiwa blend. It's essentially I'm not sure if the camera
That's
can see it.
Japanese, eh?
There, so that's the Kenyan AA. This is for your morning coffee.
Oh.
Essentially, your what you'd have in the morning for quick pick me up.
Yeah.
And then we have a third one called Respawn Blend. Now this is like a house specialty blend we've mixed in the coffee. The guys we've worked with, they blended a special roast for us. It's called Respawn Blend. So respawn in video game is like when you get shot, you respawn.
Oh.
So you start afresh. So this one is for those after your afternoon nap, the siestas.
Kick it off.
You kick it off again,
Wow.
and then you have it.
Okay. I think Nini, when I'm back, we need to go. So, Nini, where did you get like your coffee maker? Kitu kama hiyo?
The coffee machines. So
The affordable ones. I don't want zile zenyu
So
zile-
if you go
100
if
Gs.
you go Hot Point, you can get an affordable. You just
Like
sell
for how
them.
much?
I think 10, 15K.
Oh, so that's
10,
that
15K.
makes sense.
What you need is a bean grinder. So they just grind the beans into fine or medium and coarse.
Okay.
And then you just put the amount you need for 2-3 cups, and then you wake a hot water, and then it sieves, and then you get.
Okay.
Alafu kulikuwa na chai. Chai is not yet ready. But when a cop stops you in Kenya, what does he ask you?
Yeah, let her try. Oh, okay.
So that's the one.
Oh.
So these are tea leaves. I think we can actually give Mwaf that. I'll give you one of those samples
Asante,
at the back
asante.
over there. But yeah, so this
is your other now side hustle.
So this will now we'll launch it. We're launching a website so people can buy it essentially,
Okay.
and then
We're
hopefully
not getting too
Because
much
the Coffee
eventually as well.
Podcast.
So we wanted to get into March as well, but March over here the quality is not
As in,
good.
much tranini. Because much even with the what are they called? King's Collection. I don't love the fact that the hoodies really fade fast.
And by the way, I
So
was
one of
told
the
King's
things I wanted
Collection.
to check was to
Yeah, we can say maybe allegedly, but one guy told me, a gym that I work out at, they'd ordered stuff from King's Collection, and there was size variation in the XL.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lack of inconsistency.
There's lack of inconsistency.
Of consistency.
Okay.
Consistency. Sorry, there's inconsistency in the consistency.
Yeah.
But anyway, anything we've left out? What's up?
No. Family history.
I was going to say, instead of eating a boiled snake, if you go to China, you can get alcohol with snake, like snake.
Oh, yeah.
Might have been easier than
Okay.
eating a snake.
I'm not sure if I.
Although, if you do decide to eat the snake, make sure it's on camera.
on camera, yeah.
That's all we ask.
Yeah, that's one of the things. Like, if I was able to do that shit, I think I'd stop fearing. Like, my fear of snakes, I don't know if you guys understand. It's irrational.
I think all of us here.
Like, if I see it there, like, I can't.
They say there's a...
And then, like, even heights.
Did the snake ever attack you, or do you ever come in close
No,
proximity
but
with snakes?
they say we have it in our DNA as
Fear
human
of
beings.
snakes.
Yeah.
I think all of us fear snakes.
From evolution.
See, because
Yeah.
Eden fucked up in Garden of Eden, things got fucked up, and so biologically it was wicked
and
in
then
us.
There's the other is normally like where one of your great ancestors saw something, and the one who survived became. So let's say like my great ancestor had a brother, and the brother was
Died.
messing around with a snake, and the snake killed him. See, now this guy started fearing snakes, so he passes that to his kids.
Generational fear.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it comes imprinted
That's what
in
they
your
say.
DNA.
So that's what I was just saying. But now, historically, it was en masse. One of the biggest things that used to affect human beings fatally was snake attacks. So over time,
Oh, that's why
that
you fear them.
collective fear, because so many people were killed by snakes as we evolved.
Oh, that makes
Spiders
sense.
as well. Eh?
Yeah.
Crawling stuff. That's why it's always...
I have a wife who loves holding these crawling stuff. Like, she'll see a lizard and she'll chase it in spiders and play with them.
Okay.
It kind of freaks me out. And she has pet snakes. Used to have pet snakes.
Pet snakes.
Oh, shit.
I was like, fuck that shit.
Jo mkiwaanzisha nini like as coffee pump, don't have it hapo. Alafu now,
No.
you see like the way he was talking about stereotypes. You've had the stereotypes like unaendaga kwa mhindi jo unapata kanyoka kamekuwa tu kwa kona. Hiyo nyoka ndio inaleta hiyo nyoka ndio inaleta wealth. You know those stories?
No, but in my friendship with him, so like he showed me Rob. Rob is their family snake. Very harmless. You feed it once a day?
It's normally, it's behind there.
Like right now it's there.
These things are
it's another
these things
box,
are harmless. Even me,
Wewe sitaki kuangalia.
Even me,
No.
it's there,
Mwaf.
even me, I used to think like that.
I thought that's why you were scared.
I'm joking, bro.
No, oh shit, man. Hapo umenipata. I was really, oh shit.
Guys,
I have a question before
Tam-
we end.
Tam-
Yeah.
The question to you guys. Okay. When we're talking about like the price of memory chips and whatever, right? So, because I'm into tech and whatever, so what's basically happening is AI companies are like, we need all this memory to build data centers.
Yeah.
Memory is not even made yet, but they've bought it. They've booked it. So these memory manufacturers are making this RAM, fabricating it to go there. They are not being paid. Like, I don't know if you guys know, like OpenAI does not make money. They are literally sinking millions. So what's happening is these companies that are making memory chips are not being paid. They're just selling on credit.
Yes.
At some point, a bubble has to pop.
Yeah, we've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Because the demand and supply and the execution and uptake of AI is not yet mass market. In order for them to sustain, 9 out of 10 people in the world will have to use AI and do a paid subscription.
My question to you is, do you think it will stay, they'll keep this long enough to where AI is properly adopted and it's profitable, or bubble pops and big companies?
So I'll try and find a graph that showed all the major industrial evolutions that happened and the investments in them. So the railroad, Ford Motor, there's always a spike in investment, and then over a supply of investment, people getting eager, and then bubble pops, and then it corrects itself, and then it stays part of the system. So AI right now is in that phase. So before that was the computers. So there is mass adoption, but the investment around it is superficial. So it will crack, it will normalize, and then the new evolution will come in. So do not invest in any AI company right now.
Okay.
If you look like there's this thing actually, Samsung memory will not sell memory to Samsung phones in the same parent company. So my thing is, if they're not being paid for all this and this bubble does pop, let's say you are Samsung memory making all this memory, you're selling it on credit, and the money has not come. What happens then?
And that's what happens is eventually, somewhere down. You see, the thing is, it's a circle jerk. We're all relying. So you're supplying to Eric because Eric knows he's getting money from Mwaf, but I'm paying Mwaf, right? Because I am dealing with the end consumer. But until these guys do mass adoption, I can't pay him back, and he can't pay you back, and he can't pay you back. So eventually, it will come to a point where you can't supply him because you're out of funds, and he can't supply him because he's out of funds, and he can't supply me because he's out of funds, and I'm not generating enough revenue. Then that whole line will fall, and then will autocorrect itself. That's what's going to happen.
Because I also had
Nvidia will not. I think maybe in 2-3 years, will probably not sustain at the same level.
So the thing is, Nvidia will sit the company. What I mean is, when you have smaller manufacturers, not like if you take like RAM companies that like Corsair, for example, just an example, they get some memory from Samsung, whatever. They're not selling because they have nothing. What happens to their business? Like
It cracks.
I know it's not a financial podcast, but genuinely, I need to get your guys' opinion on this because I don't know what to think.
Because I think, Sajid, you might understand the angle. There was this angle I kept hearing that as long as the Gulf states are getting attacked by Iran, it also puts the whole AI thing into risk. Because I think it was
Yes.
about data centers and investment from the Gulf states.
So where do all the chips come from? Taiwan,
Yeah.
right? What happens is, geopolitically, there's delivery states and delivery mechanisms, right? So Hormuz Strait is where the world gets all the fuel
Yes.
from. Traditionally, that was being controlled and manipulated by the dollar,
Yes.
right? The petrodollar. So that whole aspect of fuel is being controlled by one single entity, which is America. And the major contributor, so the major competitor is Russia, right? But Russia's got a whole different delivery mechanism over the North Sea where Russia is. China controls resources, chips including one of them. All right? And I forgot what your question was. Sorry, what was your question? Like, how does it get affected eventually?
What happens when this bubble pops? Do we go into like
No, and to answer Mwaf's question is, eventually there'll have to be a stalemate because China is very dependent on the fuel from the Hormuz Strait. Okay? And China controls resources, including chips. And US needs chips to sustain this bubble. So the longer the war goes on, the less fuel China gets and the less chips they'll be giving off to America. And so eventually that supply will run dry and someone will have to maybe give way. And that's what I guess we talked about it. That's why Trump went with all these companies to China to sort of find a way for them to work with each other, because China has positioned itself in such a way that it controls most of the resources that are non-fuel. If you look at China's indirect colonization practices over Africa, over South America, over European countries, they've invested strategically. They come build for you infrastructure and they take your resources. In Kenya, what do? Expressway, give us farming goods. Ethiopia, there, here, South America, they did the same thing. But chips is also one of the main manufacturing components with Taiwan and Taiwan is a bit sensitive because US is also very heavily involved in that. But China controls a lot of these resources. So it'll get to a place where they'll have to agree. Otherwise, the stalemate will affect us all globally, especially import-dependent economies like us.
Yeah.
Apparently our grain as well comes from Russia and so on and so forth, our pesticides. We don't make anything locally over here.
Let me add something more to this one. Like when you're saying with PlayStation, right? They have to buy these chips. Sony has to buy the chips
Yeah.
now. If these companies are prioritizing AI companies instead of even Sony as an example, right? What happens? Because they're moving production towards server memory is not the same as what you put in your phone. It's HBM. It's completely different, right?
Yeah.
Memory, but not the same. So what happens if they're not getting paid? They're prioritizing OpenAI instead of Sony, and now they're like, well, we made all the chips there. We have no money left.
That's why Sony's not going to NVIDIA. Sony's with AMD.
No, but all of them are AMD. That's because of AMD's process. But memory is still memory.
But memory doesn't all come from NVIDIA.
Memory. Samsung. It comes from Samsung, SK Hynix, and I forget the third one. NVIDIA doesn't make memory. I'm not about NVIDIA has memory. Memory comes from the big three: Samsung, SK Hynix. Third one I can never remember. But they're all making it for AI data centers.
Not really. Not everyone's making it for AI data centers. There's only a finite amount of people who are making it for AI data centers. There's a cluster of people cordoned off. AI data centers specifically have a select group of suppliers, not all of them.
But here's the thing. Okay, if I want to buy RAM from my computer, it was $100. It's now $800 because the guys who are making RAM, NAND
Yeah,
chips
because
are making
globalization
HBM.
practices, whatever is happening, you think the war in Middle East hasn't impacted you. It's impacting everything. Delays in shipping, right? Surcharges.
There's only 3 companies that make memory.
But Faza, whatever is happening globally with fuel indirectly affects all your products and commodities.
But what I'm saying is directly for the NAND memory thing.
Yeah, but by the time it gets on a ship delivered to you, doesn't it go through a ship that uses fuel?
I'll get stuff and I'll show you after that part.
I'm not sure if you guys understand what he's trying to say.
Yeah,
I get.
I understand. I understand, but as like a podcast guy, I'm there thinking you should have mic'd him. Like, see,
Normally I do have a
Normally he has a mic, yeah.
But now, so you can have the one that records.
No, we're
internally.
gonna buy a third or fourth mic.
Yeah, so you can have.
But-
yeah.
Further, I mean, it's a very good point, but essentially, I think globalization and the way things work with the way the fuel predicament is going, my understanding is it'll impact everything. And then supply constraints, demand is increased, so
Prices.
premium price goes higher.
But if you look at it as just memory, NAND chips, Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron. If you look at it, it's two types. There's HBM memory, high bandwidth memory used in servers. You cannot put it in your computer, you cannot put it in your phone. It is made specifically for high data throughput. Then you have consumer memory. Micron, which is the third largest at the time, officially retired consumer memory completely. All it does right now is AI data center memory. There is nothing else. It is completely shut down. So like even if you were to buy RAM, you can't buy it from them anymore. It's not there. Even Sony has stopped making SD cards. By the way, I don't know if you know Mwaf.
Yeah.
They've stopped. The tough time is gone.
Yes.
So in that case, what I'm saying is like if these companies literally shut down fabrication for consumer RAM, what's in your washing machine, what's in your phone, what's in your computer, and they're only making HBM and HBM falls through, how do they prop themselves up to now be like, okay, we can now make RAM for everyone else again?
Eventually, this AI bubble will pop and they'll have to re-strategize, but they will get impacted. That's the thing. Because there's artificial supply and artificial demand. And so when they're moving away from consumer goods and putting it into AI, my logic is this AI demand and the AI supply and the AI uptake won't be as quick as people had hoped. So when it comes crashing down, the ripple effect will affect every single person over here. So what happens is your commodities and your goods will increase tenfold in terms of pricing as well on the back end. So they will push everything on AI. It won't pay. It won't make sense. They'll lose a lot of money. And how do they recover money? By charging us 10, 15, 20 times more on the products we already consume.
Yeah.
That's what I think. But it's a good question. It's more to do and something to do more research on as well. Anyway, guys, I think let's land this plane. Eric, anything to end with?
Subscribe, obviously. If you haven't subscribed, you watched the end of Coffee Pump and you haven't subscribed, just subscribe it as well for the algo.
Yes. Aoto as well. Coffee Pump, Ikonini. We all have membership. We all post videos regularly. All our links will be in the description. We'll do a lot more of this. We need to come on Mwaf's platform and do a...
We owe him.
We owe him.
Yeah.
So when he comes back from
China.
Yes, bro. We'll do
Tuje
one.
tuongejea the Chinese experience plus, but we'll be communicating. So I'll let you guys know about March. And wasoendele support and also understand that when we do these opinions, we're not trying to impose them on you. There are people who always feel like we're trying to impose our ideas on them. So like, remember what you'd said about no change and what? It's just an opinion. And all
Everyone
opinions,
has opinions,
it's open, man. It's not time to cancel each other, go after each other. And
That's true. We're not trying to offend anyone. We're just trying to give our thoughts on the way we see the world works.
In a real way.
In a real way. If you don't agree, don't tell us kumamako and abuse us. Because we will abuse you back.
And we're also ever evolving. So it's not
True. Our opinions
we're
opinions
not
can
married
change.
to our opinions.
Correct.
Yes.
Anyway, guys.
Maybe before we share,
Yes,
Lisa, one thing that had pissed off Gen Zs is walikuwa nasema 2024, according to them, Ruto was nearly resigning. So maybe tukimalizia, do you think Ruto would have resigned?
Hapana.
The keyword is resign.
His character, no.
Of course not.
The previous guy, maybe.
Yeah, you tell them that, mtu anachukua, kwa nini unasema? Because he can't resign. That's not within his character.
That's not his
he's
character.
Not that guy. That does not mean that we are supporting him. We're just saying he can't resign.
Ruto's a completionist. He will finish this game.
There was no way atia sawa mmenisumbua sana. No.
Wacha ni resign.
Let me resign. It doesn't make sense.
Ingekuwa ngumu, ekanana. Okay.
No, that's good, brother. Ekonene. Guys, thank you so much. We'll catch you in the next episode. Fazar, thank you. Even though you're on your phone 90% of the time, go see your cousin. Pow, 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 pow. Cheers, guys.
Stay down.